So it begins. The wait. Welcome to the stream, Dan. Welcome to the stream, Brantley. Justin and Kevin should be joining us very, very shortly. All right. Now, you know what? I don't think I ever changed the live stream settings to reflect that this is episode 104. One supposes I might do that. There we go. That's good there. Mute that. Come on. What? Not sure what that button was that I was hitting. Henry Swanson, welcome to the stream. Thank you. I gotta get it actually trimmed down. I gotta get I'm gonna cut my hair and I'm gonna taper down the sides of it and leave the bulk down there at the base. All about that base, No, I won't do that. Welcome to the live stream, Emily. Welcome to the live stream, everybody else that is watching, even if you're not in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm just updating the YouTube settings. We're waiting on Kevin and Justin here. Should be in momentarily. There we go. So the live stream settings are now updated. Much, much, much better. If you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. Welcome to the stream, Jared. Welcome to the stream, Patrick Sherwood, aka Goon Squad. And the music that we are playing is from Lucas King. Please go check out his channel. In fact, I will drop a link to it in the description here. Hey, Dan.
Fist yourself!
There we go. Oh my God, pop that cherry, Greg Ship. How are you? Welcome to the stream. My microphone is quiet. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling that might be the case. How about now, Dan? How's it sounding now? It is always a crapshoot trying to get everything all set up here. And can you guys hear the ambient music there? Play something on the soundboard and talk after.
Drinking Drano.
I know the soundboard is coming in a little loud, so I got to take that down. So there we go.
Drinking Drano.
Keep it quiet, Eckhart. Take it down a notch. Yep, too quiet. All right. Let's see, where's my mic setting in OBS? Maybe that's the problem. No music, loud soundboard. All right. That's a bit better than no music, though. Yeah, I had VLC was turned insanely way down.
Drinking Drano.
All right, so it probably sounded a little bit better now. It sounds a little bit better. Everything sounds a little bit more balanced. Check 1 2. Check 1 1 1 2. Check 1 1 1 1 1 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Eckhart.
Drinking Drano.
That looks a lot better for my side for Audacity's sake. So let me know what you think of that, guys. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I decided to just ditch the whole trying to do half of it on the laptop, half of it not kind of thing. And we're just going to bring everything right over into one computer again. Screw it. I'll work out the details later.
I knew you'd say that.
Shut up, Stallone. All right, and yeah, Thumbs of the Week is going to be stream only from here on out. So anybody that is watching in the stream, once we get to that segment, I'll let you know, and then you can drop your thumbs for us. And the only way you'll hear those thumbs, I'm going to cut them out of the main show entirely. So the only way you'll hear those thumbs now is by tuning into the live stream once it goes live the day that the episode drops. Ooh. Popping open some of that dry hopped Imperial IPA, the Imperial Epic Film Guys Imperial IPA. Kind of like the aroma on that. This one sat in primary for a lot longer, so I'm hoping it just isn't as sweet as the other one was, as a regular Imperial. And I don't know what the fuck Justin is doing. He messaged me like 10 minutes ago. Where is he? Justin, I need you. Here's the question. Does what displayed in? What are you doing? Damn it, this isn't working. What's not working, Dan? You're confusing me. I keep spelling Transformers the last night because I don't care enough. So I keep spelling it wrong. Oh, man. I can't wait to talk about Transformers the last night. Maybe he's fisting himself.
Fist yourself!
Probably. Probably. Ask Patrick Sherwood, Dan. He seems to be able to change his display name on YouTube all the time. There we go. All right. Live stream name should be correct. Welcome, everyone that is watching in the stream. Wait, what is he doing? Is everything good to go on your end? Yes, because I'm streaming. Oh, yeah, my audio is all set, Justin. It's out buying members-only jackets and vintage sunglasses. That is probably exceptionally true in Justin's case. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to put in accreditation for Lucas King. There we go. Yeah, dark music for dark thoughts. It's Lucas King Piano here on YouTube, so check him out, throw him a sub if you're so inclined. Because I love his ambient music. I absolutely love a lot of the stuff that he does. Super, super excited to record. This is our 2-year show, guys. This is 2 years of the Epic Film Guys. 2-year anniversary, episode 104. You know, it's not as sweet as the Imperial. It's definitely got a little bit more of a hoppy kind of bite to it. Still probably didn't ferment long enough, but... no, Emily, and I'll actually talk about that in the show. The Spielberg poll is up over in the Facebook group. If you're in the live stream and you're not a member of the Facebook group, first of all, what? Second of all, get yourself over there and vote for your 5 favorite Spielberg films. The top 5 will be our Spielberg Challenge films. We'll have to watch them next month. I should text that to James to give him some guilt about being a douche nozzle. Yes, you should. You absolutely should. Damn it, James. I miss hearing damn it, James. All right, yep, we're just waiting on Justin. And then when we get him in here, we'll have Kevin as well. Kevin from Picture Lock. Super, super pumped to have him back on the show. We need to catch that up to live, please. There we go. Well, actually, I actually put this on the soundboard just so I can play it probably sometime tonight. Where is it? Didn't I? Oh, I don't think I added it. Hang on. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got more big things coming in the future of the Epic Film Guys podcast, and this is your chance to be part of the next one. Now, if you're a long-time listener to this podcast, are you guys there? Can we hear me?
Challenges, okay?
I can
every
hear you.
October horror movie challenge.
Hello?
Every November, never seen it.
Hang on, I gotta stop this thing
All
right.
now we're bringing back challenges with a little bit of a twist.
Shh. Quiet. Stop doing that. All right, there we go. All right.
Can you hear me, Justin?
Yeah, I can hear you, Kevin.
Okay.
Boom. Boom. Shake it up. Shake it up.
Shake it up.
Boom.
That's my thing.
You shut
can't
up.
Say that.
Shut up.
That's my
Get your
thing.
Goon Squad hat off. Get that hat off of your head.
Oh, Goon Squad all the way. Hashtag Goon Squad.
I did the camera flip, so now my camera's mirrored for the live stream, so now it looks like I'm looking right at you the whole time on Skype. And there's Kevin.
Great. I got to do
Nice.
the same thing.
Kevin, it's
I have
great
do
to
the
have
same
you
thing.
back, man. It's great to have you back.
Hey,
Let's
man,
get
I appreciate
everything.
you having me. Thanks.
Shit, let's get everything set to go here. Are we ready to roll right in?
I mean, why not?
Justin and Kevin are low. What? Hang on.
What's the echo though?
Are you listening to the live stream, Kevin?
I think so.
If you- if
Yeah,
you
mute
have
the
it on,
live stream.
Mute the live stream.
Nice. All right.
That should be it. That's usually what happens to me. I always forget.
Yeah, and now it's better. Thanks.
Justin and Kevin are low. All right, Justin and Kevin, keep talking. Stream, let me know how they sound now.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock. I'm just talking and testing this thing for Nick. I'm just pretty excited to be here.
Dan also said specifically mute Justin. Oh, my Lord.
1, 2. I'm here in the live stream. Dan, sorry, buddy. No. I know you wanted to come back on when Kevin came on, though, because last time he was on, you were on with him for Suicide Squad. So I understand why you're a little bit upset.
All right.
I'm speaking words, dude. I'm speaking. Can you hear it? Do I sound good? For real,
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah,
there you go.
volume should be good. All right. So,
Director Brennick says we're sounding good. So
ooh. All right. So let's everybody. Kevin, you got Audacity ready?
I don't got Audacity. It's Tascam.
Whatever goddamn recording software you have. Jeez.
Nice.
God, make me jump through these damn hoops. All right. So everybody start
Trust
recording for
sound
me.
great.
All right. And Justin, we will start with you. Go ahead whenever you're ready with your sound check, please.
I will start recording now. And 112, 1112, 112, WHLW, WNBC.
Sweet, sweet Jesus. And Mr. Sampson, your sound check, please.
Mic check. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock. Pretty excited to be here. Hope that's a good enough sound check for you. 112, 113, 5.
All right. I'm going to grab beer real quick, and then we will get rolling, all right?
No problemo. Yeah, thanks, guys. I even wore my low-cut shirt for Dan. I know that he wants me to bring back those deep V's, but most of them are way too small for me. So this is the best I got for you, Dan. I'm sorry. But I am bringing back my emo haircut just for you, for real. So, no, Dan, I'm sorry. She's already in the bedroom, actually. She's working on her computer. Yeah. Come on, dude. See, this is what happens, Kevin. When you have the live stream, you just all of a sudden just get really, really, invested in it and don't want to talk about anything else other than just whatever. No, she's not actually. She's working and doesn't like to be bothered when she's working, so. I wish that were so, Dan. Who's waiting for you, though? You've got someone waiting for you. Do you have another Tinder match? I'm sure you do.
Oh, man. Kevin gets to meet the soundboard tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. This stupid
I hope you got some good ones loaded.
Oh,
No.
yeah. All right. Well, here, Kevin.
I find that unlikely.
Yep. Situationally appropriate. All right. So
Oh, I'm not. I didn't hear it. Good. I'm not hearing it. Kevin, did you
you can't
hear
hear
it?
the soundboard?
No,
I find that
didn't hear it.
unlikely.
Oh, no.
What?
I didn't hear it, yeah.
Stream can hear the soundboard, though. What? Is this doing that thing again? I think it is. Hang on. We'll fix that, Justin. Don't you worry, buddy. I want to make sure you
Oh,
can hear
man.
it, man.
I like it without it better, so. He likes to harass me with the soundboard.
I know. I just want to hear some Arnold.
I find that unlikely.
Now I hear it. All right. Damn
I
you,
heard
Nick.
it too.
You and your
Cause,
blue
because
foam
I knew
on
what
your
happened.
mic.
I knew what happened last time that I did that, so that's an easy fix.
I find that unlikely.
All right, and you guys talk really quick.
Talk. Speak.
Perfect.
Speak to me. Speak.
Speaking real quick. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead and first things first, we're going to drop the intro, and then after the intro, we will roll in to the show live. So is everybody ready?
Ready.
All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 104 of the Epic Film Guys podcast for Thursday, the 29th of June, 2017, to our badass new intro. I am Epic Film Guy Nick. Justin, why don't you tell our listeners where that intro came from?
Well, actually, my good buddy Jordan, I reached out to a lot of people on social media. This was like weeks ago. Surprisingly, I don't think we talked about this on the show, but I used to play in a lot of bands back in the day. It was like my thing.
You did?
And I switched
No,
to
never.
talking about movies. But I reached out to a lot of people, and most of the people that I'm friends with still play in some kind of metal or rock or punk band or hardcore band. And only one person actually came through with something that was like really rock driven. It was my buddy Jordan. He was of the band Mob Day. They were actually pretty big in the Binghamton Southern Tier area for a while. And yeah, man, he just threw that together in a day. And I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's pretty rocking, pretty good energy to start the show. And Nick has left us. And now I'm just sitting here by myself, talking to myself.
Sorry, dude, man. Yeah, I'd agree. It was definitely a awesome intro. Something different.
My
Yeah,
sliding
man.
glass door was open, so I had to close that damn thing so that way
It's a
couldn't
ghost.
hear, like there was a train outside. It was all sorts of.
A ghost,
Wow.
man. No, it was a ghost. I'm
Or it
telling
was
you.
a
You have a haunting there. They're haunting. Yeah.
All right,
It's
but
part
yeah,
of that Steven
huge-
Spielberg thing we're talking about. Poltergeist, because, you know.
Huge thank you to Jordan, because that intro is badass as hell. I finally got a chance to listen to it, and I said, yes, this has to be our new intro. And yeah, amazing work. We definitely appreciate it. Well, Justin, we're not alone tonight. We already heard
No,
him
we're
pipe
not.
in. We already heard him pipe in. We've got a guest returning to the show. Hasn't been with us in quite some time. The last time he was here, I think he took a fat shit all over Suicide Squad. Absolutely hated it, if I remember correctly. Thought it was the worst movie he'd ever seen in his life. We're thrilled to
Good
welcome
one,
back Mr. Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock. How are you, sir?
Dude, I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me, guys. You know I love you guys.
All right, we've got so much stuff to do on the show tonight, Justin. We're going to talk about Transformers: The Last Night, and that's going to drop.
I keep
mini-sode
I keep
review.
wanting to call it The Last Stand for some reason.
I have no idea. We know you're not alone, Nick. You just were visited by a ghost. Sure. All right, and yes, we're going to talk about that. That's going to be its own mini-sode. I'm going to give a very brief review of Rough Night. That's that new female comedy with ScarJo, Jillian Bell, Ilana Glazer, Kate McKinnon, all them. And we're going to talk about our top five movies of the year.
Nice.
Yes.
Is that one of them?
That was one of them, probably.
The big belch.
We're going to talk about our top five movies so far this year, and you know it's going to be a lot of fun. We're super thrilled to have Kevin back on the show. It's been way too long coming, and it's appropriate, Kevin, that you're on the show because we absolutely love having you here, and we're in a very celebratory mood because this is episode 104 of the Epic Film Guys podcast. That's 2 years of podcasting, baby. 2 years, Justin. We did it. I'm going to drop it here. Here it is.
You couldn't have come up with a better, like, you should have gotten, like, the cheers from Raw or something, man. Come on. The smattering of applause just for that.
That's all I've got for you. It's just the smattering of applause. There it is. We'll give it one more time.
All right.
But yeah, it's absolutely wonderful to have been podcasting for 2 years, and God, we're just going to keep on rolling, and we're going to keep on
rolling. Yeah, keep rolling. What?
You earned
Sorry, I had to throw that Limp Bizkit reference in there. Yeah, Kevin knows. Yeah.
I'm with you, Justin.
I'm outnumbered here. All right. Well, we've got so much stuff to talk about tonight, so I want to get things kicked off, as we always do here every single week on the Epic Film Guys podcast. Justin and Kevin, I got to know, what are you drinking?
I'm back. Puke and rally. Woo! Give me a beer.
All right. And since he is our guest on the show, Justin, what do you say we start with Mr. Sampson? Kevin, what are you drinking, sir?
I appreciate that, man. I am drinking good old H2O. I told Justin, my wife and I were actually doing this thing called Whole30, and so we gotta eat. Yeah, I know. Gotta eat pure, gotta drink pure. So it's water this time. I'm sorry.
Hey, we definitely understand it. Justin, especially being the huge fitness buff he is, as I just saw him take a big swig out of that bomber he was holding in his hands. Justin, I gotta know, man, what are you funneling down your fuck hole this evening?
It's funny you mention fitness, because I just got done with the gym literally like 45 minutes ago. You know how much that sucks, man? Any progress that I made at the gym tonight is going right down the drain with this. But surprisingly, I hadn't had this beer yet, and I looked on your Untapped, and you had it like back in the winter time, and I found it at the gas station. It is the Stone Imperial IPA. It's one of their 20th anniversary Encore series.
Oh, yeah.
You seem to have liked it.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Tastes really good. This baby is 100 IBUs and 8.9% alcohol by volume. I was really lucky to find it. It was only one. It was actually pretty dusty sitting in the back of the gas station, but I was like, whatever, man. I'm going to grab this.
It was still there because it was just sitting in
it was.
Right.
Shelf. Nobody
but
found
it
tastes
wonderful. Absolutely fantastic beer. I'm sure that's why you rated it as well as you did on Untapped.
I can't even remember. What did I rate? I can't remember.
I think it was at least 4 stars. Ooh. It wasn't your traditional, like, it's just mediocre rating, but
nice.
It doesn't taste like Smucker's on burnt toast, though, Nick. I'll tell you that much.
Sorry.
It's fine, though. I mean, I still drank the whole thing. I still got 2 of those. But here's the thing. Anyone that listened to the show last week knows that Nick gave me some of his homebrews to drink, and I got like a little bit kind of impatient to wait. So I put the other ones in the fridge, which he told me to have wait an extra week or 2. But I put them in the fridge instead. And he said I shouldn't have put them in the fridge.
Yeah,
so
no,
they're in there.
Shouldn't have gone in the fridge. Let them sit in the fridge for a while. Let them age. Let them.
What? I'm going to drink one tonight. No, nope. I'm drinking one tonight on the show. I have to.
Ooh, well, you better try that dry hopped version. The dry hopped version of the Imperial is a little bit better than the regular Imperial. It's not quite as sweet. It's definitely got a little bit more of a hoppy kick to it, and it's got a little bit better aroma, just because it sat in primary longer, and plus it got that dry hopping. So it's definitely the better of the two in terms of the versions of the Imperial that I put together. But yeah, I know you were disappointed in the Imperial, and God, the fucking toast beer. I'm glad that beer is gone now. I'm glad it's completely forever.
Hey man, the thing is though, it's the perfect beer for trying to emulate being hammered and going into Denny's at 4 a.m, because it tastes like the kind of shit toast you're going to get with that bullshit Smucker's on top of it. It's literally that taste. So it's like the beer you drink as like your morning breakfast before you go to bed and then get hungover in the morning. Yeah. I mean, it fits perfectly. But Nick, I have to ask you. That's right, you.
Oh.
What do you got guzzling down your goal this evening?
I got a little close to like he was trying to deep throat something there toward the end. All right. Well, before the show, Justin, I actually cracked into one of the growlers of the dry hopped Imperial IPA, the dry hopped Epic Film Guys Imperial, and I've been drinking that slowly, but that's just my pregame beer, man. I bought a beer that a lot of the guys in the Movie Pod Squad had a chance to have and told me I had to have this. I had an opportunity to pick it up at Wegmans in Ithaca a few months ago, and I actually didn't. And then I saw it, like, for whatever reason, the Wegmans down here is now carrying Evil Twin beers, Justin. This is a collaboration they did with Westbrook Brewing. This is their Imperial Mexican Biscotti Cake Break. And I'll throw it right up there for the live stream to see. This is an Imperial Stout. Let's see. On the label, it says it's coffee, cinnamon, almonds, cocoa nibs, vanilla, and habanero peppers. And I have heard this beer is beyond incredible. So I'm actually going to take first sip right here live on the show. Hey, man, I got something for that. I got something.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
Toasted nuts.
There are almonds. There are almonds in it. Oh man, I gotta have one more. Hang on. Wow, there's so much going on in it. I'm kind of glad I have a bomber of it because there's so much going on. Like, literally, I feel like it's one of those beers that's going to be different every single sip until you get to the bottom of it. You immediately, right up front, you get that very malty backbone because it's a stout. But then I'm getting a little bit of the habanero. There's like a tiny bit of heat on the finish. And then like the cocoa, the vanilla, the coffee's very subtle. I was worried about the coffee being a little bit too much. Everything just kind of blends together. This is fucking fantastic. This is a great beer. Then,
I'll have to look for it, and I'll
Caleb,
have to because
I got to tell Caleb how it tastes. Caleb, it's 10.5% alcohol by volume.
What's the name of it again, Nick?
Oh God, I almost dropped it. Jesus Christ, that would have been terrible. It is the Imperial Mexican Biscotti Cake Break, and there it is again, right up there for the live stream audience to check out. And yeah, this is amazing. I know Shampoo has had this, and I think John from Now in Technicolor has
of course Shampoo has had it. Shampoo has had to have had it because he's a huge Lush. So it sounds like the kind of beer that a Lush would drink.
As part of our Movie Pod Squad Network beer exchange, Shampoo actually sent me a few beers from Iowa, and one of them that he sent me was God damn it.
There it is right there.
Ooh. And one of them that he sent me was the double dry hopped Pseudo Sue Pale Ale. Fantastic beer, Justin. I actually gave it a 5 out of 5 on Untappd because it was so good. Unbelievable. It's a pale ale, so it's definitely not in the IPA style, but it's got so much Citra front-loaded from dry hopping that you get kind of punched in the face with citrus as soon as you drink it. Unbelievably good beer. So it's just great. It's just fantastic.
Good. I'm glad you like it. I'll have to definitely look for it. Like I said, my Wegmans is fully stocked with Evil Twin, and it's surprising that yours just got it. Mine got it about a year and a half into me living around here, so I was shocked when I started getting it, and that's why, though many of you have probably already forgotten, I've had quite a few of their beers on the show and talked about them in my own time as well. So I'll look forward to that. I can't wait to try it. It sounds good.
And now, Justin, what we're going to do is we're going to move into something that has now become a live stream only feature. So this will not be part of the Epic Film Guys podcast when it goes live on the podcatcher of your choice this Thursday. The only way that you can ever hear this is to A, tune into the live stream, or B, watch the replay of the live stream when it goes up on the day of release of the show. And Justin, that is our Thumbs of the Week.
Thumbs up their asses. Thumbs up their asses.
I love it, son. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. I love it.
Two very enthusiastic thumbs up.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Jesus Christ, man, what the hell is wrong with you? Please, just shut up! Fuck!
All right, and we got a ton of thumbs over in our Facebook group, The Hopesters Dumpster, which we actually just got started over on Facebook. Man. If you're listening to this and you're not a member of our fan community, please get over there and join the Hopesters Dumpster, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's interactive with the show that if you're not a part of that group, you're not going to get to be a part of. And Thumbs is one of those things. That's the only place, aside from tuning into the live stream directly, that you're going to be able to do Thumbs of the Week. So, Justin, let's get into it right now, and I want to kick things over to our guest, Mr. Sampson. And this is actually a feature that we haven't had on the show since the last time you were on. This is something new for you. Anything that you want to give a thumbs up or thumbs down to for the week?
Yeah, I got to give a thumbs up to you guys on 2 years. That is pretty awesome. And I say that as a fellow podcaster, consistency is key. So thumbs up to you guys for that. I'm proud of you guys. Thumbs down to Transformers, the last time I ever spend money on that movie.
Spoiler alert for the review later.
All right.
Jeez. Man, all right. Justin, I'm actually going to go ahead and jump over to the stream here really quick. Can you queue up the Facebook thumbs so we can get those guys in here? All right. Jesus, man, people are going ape shit over here. All right. From Director Brennick over in the stream, thumbs up to A Monstrous Day. From Brentley Oliver, thank you, Brentley. Thumbs up for the Marshall trailer, which unfortunately I have not had a chance to see yet. I've just been so busy. From Patrick Sherwood, thumbs up to 2 years of the epic film guys for sure. Dan Brennick, thumbs up to a monstrous day of downloads for Netflix and Swill. Thumbs up to Glow. Patrick Sherwood, thumbs up to Dan's thumbs up for Glow. Wow. Director Brennick again, thumbs up to me, him. Thumbs up to Dan, myself, and Bill winning a squad match of Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. I'm glad I don't have to fucking edit this shit. It's all just going to get cut out of the podcast. From Emily from The Story Behind, who we're absolutely thrilled to have on the stream because she's amazing and we love her. Thumbs up to Facebook groups, especially the Hopesters Dumpster. Loving them so much better than pages. Yeah, I absolutely agree. They're far more interactive. Much, much better. And Destruction in Human Form himself, Mr. Jared Taylor, thumbs up to getting out of town for the weekend for the wife's birthday. That is awesome. I've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
For getting out of town for the weekend as well, Jared. That'll come up a little bit later in the show. But Justin, what do you got over on Facebook?
On Facebook, the first one I want to throw out there is from Shampoo from Beers, Buds, and Brutality. Thumbs up to the Movie Pod Squad Network Beer Exchange, which you were just talking about a few moments ago. And then, of course, underneath that, Shampoo said thumbs down to Nick. No reason, just thumbs down.
Damn it,
and
Shampoo.
yes.
Hashtag shut up, Shampoo. Wait, I got
Flash,
even better. There we go.
The Flash, also known as Scott LeVar, said, thumbs up, molding has been put up around the house successfully, and tonight we are going out for ice cream. Thumbs down to Bungie for scheduled maintenance and watching Julius Jr.
Scott,
for the 1,000th time.
I told you 1,000 times, Scott, stop playing fucking Destiny. Just stop. Just quit doing it. Enough. Enough is enough.
He also said Mother Nature thumbs down. He also said Mother Nature thumbs down as well. But on the actual Hopesters Dumpster fan group, that's all we got, Nick.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate it. The fan group is something very, very new, but the fan group is where you're going to get to interact with us more directly, more fun posts, not so much news related, but more interactive with the show, where you're going to be able to interact in ways that, unless you're a part of that fan group, you're not going to be able to. We put up votes periodically. That's why Thumbs of the Week is now a stream-only segment, because I had this feeling for a while, since we only took thumbs from the stream participants. It was like, well, wait a minute, why don't we just move this to a stream-only feature? And that's why I was very, very happy. I put it out there for everybody to look at, and I said, here you go, vote on this. And I think we only had 3 or 4 votes in the negative that wanted it kept as part of the main show. It was overwhelmingly in majority for moving it over to the stream entirely. So this is just for you guys. Anybody who's listening to the live stream or watching the video after the fact, this is a segment that you will only get in this stream from now on.
And specifically, there's something very special that'll be happening in the Hopesters Dumpster. You'll get to see me and Nick argue about the new Spider-Man franchise on a daily basis. This is going to be a thing. I'll make sure of it. Literally. With venom spitting of my mind. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Just wait until the movie comes out and I see it, and then I purposely give it a 9 out of 10 rating just to upset Nick. Just so he has something to be upset about. That's going to happen in the group too. So come one and come all. Front row.
Shut up! Jesus Christ, man, what the hell is wrong with you? Please, just shut up!
Oh, my God. Well, just speaking of yourself, Patrick Sherwood also said thumbs down to Michael Bay. And Justin, any thumbs you want to give for the week?
Yeah, one that you said you wish that I would die from today. You said, I hope you die. It's okay. I got the opportunity. I'm so happy about this. I had heard through the rumor mill, and I did talk about it in the show last week, if I recall, if you didn't cut it out, that I was going to be possibly invited to an early advanced screening of War for the Planet of the Apes. I'm still getting used to saying that title. It's still way too long, but it's going to be at the Alamo Drafthouse. It's the Monday that's before the actual opening release date, with live stream Q&A from director Matt Reeves. That, and I'm actually going to see an advanced screening of Atomic Blonde tomorrow night in Tyson's Corner. So I'm really excited about that as well. 2 awesome movies. And another thumbs up that I have to give is for a movie that I've yet to review. You guys will be getting a review of that as soon as Nick sees it. But for the advanced screening I saw of Edgar Wright's Baby Driver that Loy Sauce and I had the amazing opportunity to see, in DC a few weeks back. It is the film to see this weekend. So as this episode hits this Thursday, that's the movie. You need to go out and support this. It's a new, fresh, awesome idea. It's fun. It's action-packed. Great comedy and great characters. Witty, fun. Just go see it. Please do. Support films that aren't huge franchise movies. There it is. That's all I got for now.
Jesus, this weekend at the movies is going to be a slog for me. I've got 3 different movies that I'm going to be seeing at the theater this weekend. So, yeah, it should be an interesting show coming up next week. But, yeah, Baby Driver is definitely among them. And, Justin, just in case I didn't make it clear enough about you getting to see Apes before me and for free.
Fist yourself!
There you go. That made me so goddamn angry when he sent me that, because
I would have I would have brought you down. If I knew, literally, if you would drive down, I'd pay. I'd give you gas. I'd buy you a beer. I'd be like, stay the night. Come down for it. But I know you can't. I understand.
Come down, have a few laughs. No, it would be wonderful to be able to see it ahead of time. But I guess I'll just have to settle for seeing it opening night. I already do have my tickets, so I absolutely cannot wait to see that film. The reactions for it are absolutely off the charts right now in terms of critical response, something we're also going to discuss a little bit later in the show. My thumb for the week is very, very simple. A huge, huge, huge thumbs up to the Hopesters Dumpster. I'm so happy that everybody has jumped into this thing like head first, and everybody's getting involved, and we're having a lot more discourse with those of you, those super fans of you out there who just love being part of the show a little bit more than your casual listener. And that's why, like I said, thumbs is more going to be for you guys than for anybody else, because you're the ones that are going to get to put them over on the Facebook page, and you're the ones that are going to hear them when you check out the video later on YouTube. So that's all I've got for that. And now, Justin, just because it's been a week, a lot of stuff has happened in both of our lives. I got to ask how you're doing. What did you do this weekend? How are things going? What's up?
Yeah, man. My weekend seemed a little bit less eventful than yours, which you'll be getting to in a few moments. But mine, I woke up Saturday morning and the wife said, let's go sit down at the pool and relax. And yes, you made a comment about me trying to masquerade my IPA in a koozie, but yeah, it's a thing. People do this. People do it when they're trying to hide.
Somebody put soda in a goddamn beer koozie in my life.
People do it at the beach, or people do it at the beach when they're trying to hide their beer and make it look like a soda, because technically we're not supposed to have any alcoholic drinks at the pool. Yeah, our complex managers always hire these Ukrainian guys, which don't really give a shit anyways. They're cool dudes and everything, but just to be sure, just to be safe, I put it in my Darth Vader beer koozie, and I just kind of chilled out at the pool for the most part. I showed my daughter Kaya the Weekend at Bernie's films. That's correct. I showed her even the sequel.
Nice.
But the first one's so great, and it's such a great summer movie. It takes place at the beach. So it's a beachy movie. We're waiting so we can get to our normal spot that we hit up every single year. Nick, I'm sure you're aware. It's where I asked my wife to marry me, Long Beach Island in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to going. We're not going to be able to go as long as we usually go. We usually go for a couple of days. This year, it'll be just 2 days. We're just dropping off our daughter there to go with her grandparents. Well, hit up my spots and everything, but we're looking forward to that. But we're definitely eager for the beach. I know you hate the beach, but
I'm a fan of the beach.
But other than that, man, I just literally
check sound check.
Boom. Even when he can't be on the show, he's here. But other than that, man, I got a chance to hang out at my favorite local new brewery, Crooked Run Brewing, on Sunday, and just kind of chilled out, watched movies, and hung out. So,
all right,
that's
it. Awesome. Well, I want to turn our attention over. It's been such a long time, Kevin. The last time we had you on the show was way back in August after Suicide Squad came out. We had you on the show. We had Dan from Netflix and Swill on the show, and that was a really fun time. And as I said at the top of the show, it's been far too long since we've had you on the show. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here. So I know you moved pretty recently. You moved out of the DC area, and there's probably just a lot of stuff going on in your life. So just how have you been, man? How the hell is Kevin Sampson?
Man, I appreciate you asking. That's so sweet of you. Gosh, it's like family here. Nah, man, you're right. You're absolutely right. We moved into the North Carolina area. My wife got a nice job offer, but it puts us closer to home. So I'm originally from Columbia, South Carolina. So now it's like an hour and 15 away. So yeah, it's good. But moving is always stressful. But in the meantime, I mean, I think our work-life balance is a lot better. We get more family time. And then I got the DC Black Film Festival that I just launched this year. So that's coming up in August. So I've been steady at work working on that and trying to do this film critic thing for full-time job. That would be nice. So we'll see how it's going, but that's kind of where my world is.
That is awesome. Well, like I said, it is an absolute thrill and an honor to have you back on the show. We absolutely love you. And Justin had the chance last summer to do that interview over on Picture Lock. And then, like I said, we had you on for that Suicide Squad episode. It was an absolutely amazing time. So my weekend, basically, and I'll just spin it out here really, really quick. We've got so much stuff we've got to get to yet here. Basically, we went to I think it's the Great Tastes of Pennsylvania Food and Wine Festival. It's down in Split Rock, which is down in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. And, well, I got to walk a lot this weekend. We had to park a mile away from the event, walk the whole way there, and then you're on your feet the whole time, going up to all sorts of different booths and tasting wine and tasting food. I had some amazing barbecued brisket. Jesus Christ. Wow, was it good. And, we got to drink a bunch of wine. I would actually honestly say that probably about 80% of it, just terrible. It's way too sweet. I knew
you were going to say that. I knew you. Sorry. I knew you were going to say that.
I love super, super dry wine. Like, I'm a very, very dry red wine kind of person. I love my dry red wines and things like that. So, just all the wines at this wine festival, there were a lot of meads, which I'm really taking to mead. I really, really love it. My buddy Bill actually build.
He done builded that, I done tell you.
My buddy Bill actually brewed a batch of mead that was really, really, really good. And there were a few good meads there, but most of the wine tended on the sweeter side. I do prefer my Finger Lakes extremely dry reds like Cab Franc, Cab Sav, and Pinots. But it was good. It was a really, really good time. Myself and the wife got out, and like I said, we had a lot of great food and spent a whole bunch of money on a bunch of wine. I bought balsamic vinegar that has been aged for 35 years. Tastes incredible. And Justin Winters, welcome to the live stream. And yes, actually, I do have different light here in my living room because he noticed my image looks a little bit different over on the live stream. All right. So what we're going to do now...
Hey, Nick.
Oh, go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead.
Dude, how long have you been doing the craft brewing and all that good stuff? Because at this point, I mean, compared to me, you're an expert, but I'm just sidetracking, but I think it's really cool.
Sidetracking on the Epic Film Guys? Are you serious? We never stray from the topic at hand, sir.
That never happens.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Ever.
I definitely appreciate that. No, I've been doing it since Christmas. My sister got me a small homebrew kit, which I have expanded upon greatly. Justin was here a couple weeks ago, and he actually sat with me through the process of making a beer. And I don't know if Justin had ever realized all the things that went into making beer quite before that. And he had said he'd never tasted uncarbonated beer before. I let him taste.
No, I have not.
This beer that I'm drinking right here, the dry hopped Imperial IPA, the Epic Film Guys Imperial, I let him try this uncarbonated. So he actually got to taste that before it ever went in to finish off. But yeah, thank you, Kevin. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you.
No, man, that's cool. I want to get into it, but I'm just scared to mess up, but you give me confidence.
As long as you don't make one that tastes like, hey man,
butter
the
toast
beer, the toast Smuckers on toast. At least it's something that I can drink. It's not like he gave me something that was undrinkable. I mean, I'm
going to play this just for Emily over in the live stream right now. She says, it's taken me a while to admit this, but I've lost my taste for wine. I can't find one I like anymore. Damn baby. And that makes me so sad because, like, one of the things, and I met Emily ages ago when the Epic Film Guys were very, very early on, very, first couple episodes, like the first dozen episodes or so. She was one of the first podcasters I met, and listening to the Classy Little Podcast was one of the things that helped shape the early days of the Epic Film Guys. So to hear she can't even find a wine that she likes anymore, and she did post a picture the other day in the fan group that she was drinking a Stone Go-To IPA. So
it was so awesome, dude. I was so excited when I saw that picture. I'm like, this is amazing.
Emily, we love you.
She switched over.
Whatever you like to drink, but geez, man, that shocks the hell out of me. All right, so we've got so much left to cover, and for those of you watching in the live stream, next up is going to be our Transformers: The Last Night minisode review. That's pretty much the entire review right there. And then we've got so much more stuff. We're going to talk top films of the year thus far. We're going to talk about some cool stuff. We're just going to riff back and forth, have a great time. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So stay tuned for our featured podcast clip, and
we'll be right back.
God, I always have so much trouble finding that bass drop clip. I don't know why.
Damn you. Damn you. All right, so we're going to stop recording right now.
Yep, stop recording.
And then export that clip. But
yeah, so the next segment will be the mini-sode. So, Justin, I'll let you roll it in, but just roll it in as its own mini-sode, not as welcome back to the next segment or whatever.
No, really. Seriously.
What does this say? Let me into the Hobster's dumpster.
Oh, which, by the way, I am going to do I'm doing something very special for the graphic for that, Nick. I tried doing it the other day. It didn't work out. So I did find the legit dumpster that's actually directly behind Ned Devine's bar. I was hoping that it would say Ned Devine's above it, but we're working on it. So just be aware of that.
Welcome to the stream, Fun Bucket. Meow, 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 meow. All right, so yeah, everybody take your pisses if you got to take them. Whatever, export your audio, save your audio for me, and then when everybody's ready, we'll get started again.
You keep quiet. Which one of these beers am I going to drink of yours? Because I'm almost done with this thing. I don't want to get into that Ruination 10, or that triple, whatever it is.
I mean, if you want to, crack open one of the, crack open the dry hopped Imperial.
Does that have the tape on it, or is it because you put them all in those goddamn Voodoo Ranger bottles?
It's not the Voodoo Ranger bottles. It's the what did I put it in for you? Did I put it in the Two Roads bottle? It might be in the Two Roads like berry jam bottle or whatever. Something.
I have to look.
Yeah, you have to look. It's not in a Voodoo Ranger bottle though. At least I don't think it is. And the stream just hiccuped. Sorry, everybody that's watching in the stream. My internet fucking sucks. I should have given a thumbs down to my fucking internet. Fucking garbage. Fucking Bucket is meowing all over the chat. Man.
That's right. I'll be right back.
We'll be right back. I'm Justin, and I'm also an Epic Film Guy.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play that kick-ass intro that we have again while I pop this logo up here. So here's that kick-ass new intro again from Jordan Mob Day. From Jordan of Mob Day. That's his band. So yeah, please, please, please give this intro some love.
I'm back. Cuban Rally. Justin, did you used to play drums?
As a hobby. I was always the vocalist.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think we're about ready to get going again here. So, is everybody ready to review Transformers?
I mean, what's there to say other than how amazing it was? I mean,
Right?
man, it's so. I don't even know if I could find words. But give me a second. Audacity's being really nutty real quick.
Yeah, close it out and restart it, probably.
I know. Well, it's... Yes, give me a second.
Yeah, that is our new intro.
Are you going to put the sound stuff over it, or are you just going to leave it as the music?
Honestly, no. I honestly, but like I was listening to it earlier and I was thinking about it, and just like I love the energy of it without adding anything to it. I may like play around with it in the future, but for now, I'm just gonna do like maybe like the first 30-40 seconds of it, and then it'll fade out into our normal intro, like the actual show intro.
I
don't
knew
think
you'd
I'm gonna
feel
add
that
any of
way
those sound
because
clips into it.
Because he gave such a great energy to it, like.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it another time, but I've known the guy.
It's perfect.
I've known him for a while. Yeah, so he'll be really happy. He'll be really happy because he just started.
Look at the color of this. Look at the color of this fucking Imperial Mexican from Evil Twin. It's like fucking motor oil, dude. Holy shit, that's black as the night, dude. Wow.
Black as night.
Wow, dude.
Oh, and you had to put up a picture of the stupid new Megatron. He looks so dumb. He looks so stupid. Seriously. He looks dumb, man. He looks like he has one of those curly Q mustaches.
Quiet. Save it for the review, damn it.
I'm not even going to say anything about this movie other than 10 out of 10.
Get yourself recording. Get yourself recording.
All right, I'm recording.
All right, we'll start with you. Go ahead and give me a sound.
112. Transformers is the best franchise ever. Oh, yeah, I need to actually...
All right.
I have to open this speaker.
Kevin, I will hope that you'll have a better sound check than that.
Mic check, what's going on? This is Kevin Sampson, and I'm about to get live right now.
Ooh, baby.
On this Transformers.
All right. So everybody is recording. All right, so let's go ahead.
Yes, sir.
And Justin, you're going to lead us in. And like I said, this is going to be for its own mini-sode, so just do it as if its own.
I know, Dad. I know, Dad. This isn't my first rodeo. 2 years.
Don't do what Daddy tells you, or I'll smack you.
I mean, I know that the first couple episodes of the podcast was you just, talking about movies by yourself, I've been here for almost 2 years.
Daddy's gonna hit you so goddamn hard, you're not even gonna know. Whew, man.
I hope you do. I could use being
Evil
hit.
Twin is boozy as shit, man. Wow, I'm feeling it already. That'll make this Transformers review all the better.
I love the movie Pod Squad beer exchange. I can't wait till there's an Epic Film Guys beer exchange where I could get some kind of benefit. But in reality, a lot of the beers you get, I can get down here. So,
Justin Winters in the chat. Shut up. Wait, Justin Winters in the chat. Hang on. Wait. There we go. All right. Yep. Whenever you're ready, Justin, go right ahead.
All right. All right, we're going to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special mini-sode of the Epic Film Guys podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a movie we know you've all been highly anticipating for the last few years. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about and reviewing Michael Bay's Transformers: The Last Night. This is the 5th film in the Transformers franchise, and it is the most anticipated. Every single one of you waited in line last week outside of every theater in the country to get into this thing. I saw the vision in my head. I saw the news briefs. I saw the footage on CNN of all the people waiting out in lines, hundreds upon thousands of people all over the country. This is it, man. This is going to be the movie that you're going to talk about for years to come. So we couldn't do this alone, Nick.
No,
we could not do this alone.
We could not.
So we decided to bring on an expert, I should say. Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock. Welcome to the review here. Thanks for coming on, man.
Justin, Nick, man, I appreciate you guys having me. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
No. If you guys are familiar with our new review style, okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go around the table, quote unquote, and everybody's just going to list off the good stuff, and then we're going to...
Are you serious?
The good stuff. I couldn't even finish the sentence. And then, after the good stuff, then we're going to, just mention things that we disliked about the film, and then that'll open up into the broader discussion, okay? So, let's start with our guest. Let's start with Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock. Anything positive that you're taking away from Transformers?
There was one camera angle I appreciated. Outside of that, man, yeah, I mean, it was nice to have the time to just sit in the theater and think about all the issues going on in my life, because it was more entertaining. But that's all the good stuff I can think about.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, Justin.
Okay. Well, before we get into our larger discussion of the film later on, I'm going to say this much to you guys. And a lot of you might be shocked. I didn't hate this movie. There's a very simple explanation for that. What I walked into when I sat down in the theater at Alamo Drafthouse was a Transformers movie. The movie that I had planned on seeing that entire day was a Transformers movie. What I watched was a Transformers movie. And what I walked away thinking about was absolutely nothing. If I had to give any kind of positive note to the movie at all, it's that it stuck to what it is. And Anthony Hopkins. He says dude in the movie. There you go.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, in the live stream right now.
Check, sound check.
He's here.
The self-proclaimed god of podcasting.
Here. The god of podcasting. That is right, Justin. He is here. Oh, my Lord. Well, I will jump in on my positive things about Transformers: The Last Night. Hang on.
Think about it.
I will agree with Justin to a certain degree that I walked into this movie with basement level expectations. I expected, like, when Justin and I saw what the fuck ever, the fourth Extinction,
Age of Extinction,
whatever. When we
right.
saw that movie was just so convoluted and just so much visual noise at literally all times that you couldn't even pay any attention to what was going on. So I walked into this movie expecting exactly that. So I guess in terms of a positive, that's exactly what it gave me.
Right.
That's exactly what I expected it to be, is just a really convoluted bunch of visual nonsense, and the end.
I mean, I don't think that there's any simpler way of putting it. There it is.
Oh my God!
Put it on the plate and you eat it. Shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So all right, so let's flip the table over. I'm guessing that there's nobody else on the panel here who has anything positive they want to mention about this. Actually, you know what? I will mention one more thing. The marketing team for this movie. Only because they marketed it a certain way and then subverted that in the film. And I'll talk about that a little bit more as we go on. Because there were some things in the trailer that they did purposely that aren't the way they are in the movie. And
of course not. Of course not. Yeah, of course. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking
I'll
about.
let you elaborate. I'll let you elaborate.
We'll get to that a little bit later on in the review. But let's open it up. Let's open it up into the negative stuff. And we'll just start with one. So we'll just keep going around and everybody keep adding to it until we get enough. And then we'll branch into that larger discussion. So, Kevin, once again, we will start over with you. One thing that you hated about this movie. You can only pick one for now.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Fair enough. I think the running time is what I hated about it. Is 2 hours and 28 minutes. And if you cut off an hour, it still would be too long and too bloated. So, for me, I mean, there's plenty of films that like are 2.5 hours that you don't mind sitting through, and on top of that, like you don't even notice that it's been 2.5 hours. But this is like the epitome of when summer blockbusters are just blockbusters to be blockbusters. Like there was really no point to holding us there for 2.5 hours. So that's the main thing. That I guess that's number one. And I almost want to just go on a rant, but
we'll come back to you.
That's your job, Nick.
We will come back to you, my friend. Do not worry, Justin.
Well, to piggyback right off of Kevin, ask Loy Sauce. I checked my watch probably a number, maybe 10 times. Literally at least 10 times during the film. But my number one thing that I was angry about is hashtag no Shia LaBeouf. And I'm going to tell you this much right now. Okay, you can hate on the dude as much as you want, but with the movies that he's in, at least you had someone of any kind of interest to focus on that was entertaining, that looked like he at least semi wanted to be there. Poor Mark Wahlberg. I mean, you could tell he just did not want to be in this movie. He was contracted to be in this movie. And I like Mark. Mark is legit good. But, you know, the movies of the Shia, at least I had that character to follow. He was an interesting character that blended well with the subject matter a little bit better than just, you know, I'm like 45 years old, Mark Wahlberg running around with a bunch of giant robots. So there it is. No Shia LaBeouf.
This was Mark Wahlberg every day on set.
Oh, good for you.
At least he knows he's done. At least he knows he's done with it. But Nick,
God. I'm actually going to start off with a negative based on something that Justin said as a positive. Anthony Hopkins, I never thought that anybody could ever make me hate Anthony Hopkins in a movie, and Michael Bay has done it.
Yes.
Michael Bay has succeeded at it. And not only Anthony Hopkins, but Tony Hale as well. I could not stand Anthony Hopkins in this movie, and I get, like, I love Hopkins himself, but just what they wanted that character to be and what they wanted that character to do, he was all over the place. With like there were times he was just fucking freaking out for no reason, like flipping the fuck out at people, like out of no. It's like what, and then like they're part of the wiki and clinging, like what the actual fuck is? Oh my God! I'm just playing the music. I'm playing it.
Shut up! Shut up! No! Wrong! Now shut the fuck up and let me do my job.
Stop it, you weak, you baiting! Shut up!
That's probably a good preface for most of the rest of this review from pretty much everybody, because it's just going to be one giant sliding fucking pile of shit. Justin, I didn't think after we watched Age of Extinction that I could possibly get any lower on these movies. And I mean, I kind of keep them all in the same category except for the first one, so I don't really pick a better of the second through the fifth one, but Jesus Christ, the bar was so low, Michael Bay. The bar was impossibly low. It was actually buried underneath the ground. All you had to do was take a step over it, and he tripped over it still. I'm going to kick it back over to Kevin, and we'll just keep throwing out more negatives about this film, but holy fuck, this movie is bad on every conceivable level of bad.
Yeah, Nick, I gotta piggyback off of what you said with Anthony Hopkins. We have Oscar winner, an amazing talent and actor, and I don't know what they were thinking in terms of using him, but this is the first time that he has not brought like really any gravitas to a film. Like just seeing him there, it just felt like he was like a senile old man that walked on the set and like started spouting off lines like, Anthony, what's going on in your old age? Like, I really felt like the use of Anthony Hopkins was just absolutely terrible. He spent so much time on exposition, explaining the world to us. Like you said, the Order of the Whittakins. And I mean, it just even showing like Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass being in this order. That just, it was Jesus. So... I was just offended at like how Michael Bay is really, oh my gosh, he just thinks that we're idiots. Like, why do that just to make people say, oh, there goes Harriet Tubman or Frederick Douglass? And I forget like whoever else they had. Maybe it was Genghis Khan or something like that. But I mean, it's just stuff like that just really irked my nerves. Oh my God he was and like I said, just seeing Anthony Hopkins used in that role, it just it was upsetting and disappointing. And it's almost like seeing your hero, like, you know, you want to go shoot him out in the back. It's just sad.
Yeah. I could not agree more. I was so, and you're exactly right. That's literally all he was. He was an exposition dump. Every time they needed to chug this convoluted, jumbled bullshit mess of a plot forward, they cut to Anthony Hopkins talking about shit. And wow, I've got so much more to say, but Justin, I want to kick it back over to you here for another bad thing you want to throw at this movie.
I'll just say this much real quick. De Niro, Al Pacino, Michael Caine, they all do it. They're all at this age, at this point where they just literally don't care. And I can see why he decided to do it. I can see the suits in the room sitting there saying, Anthony, it'll be great. It's a big blockbuster. You haven't been in one of these. You know, come on in for this. It'll be fun. Blah, 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 blah. So I get your guys' hate, but for me, whatever. He's already done the best of his career. He's not ever going to do anything better than the best of his career we've already seen. Quote me on that. I don't care. Just telling you right now. Not saying he should have been in a Transformers movie, but seeing him in it was the only thing that actually kept me in the film. It's somewhat being able to pay attention to it and watch it on screen. But the thing that I hated the most were the jokes about things in the movie being racist when Michael Bay still kept a bunch of racist fucking robots in the damn movie.
Right.
If he had erased them from it, and then he had the jokes about things being racist, to be like, God. okay, I get it. But no, he has the jokes about things being racist. Then he still has like the super racist little robot thing that runs around and talks shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, isn't like this defeating the purpose of the jokes you're putting in this? There it was. I'm like, I just kept face palming. I'm like, wait a minute. That joke just made fun of the thing that you put in your own damn movie. So there it is. I would say overall. I would say overall the jokes. I mean, I won't lie. There may be like 2 or 3 that made me like grin, but nothing that made me actually laugh. And our showing was pretty much dead the entire time. There was people that like kind of chuckled and stuff, but nowhere near the laughs that they were going for.
Do you want to know how many people were in my opening day showing of this movie, Justin? Like 6.
Barely anyone.
Like 6.
I know. Well, that's the thing I said to Loisos. We're in Theater A at Alamo Drafthouse, right? This is the theater.
Check sound.
Yep, there he is. To see these large format movies, Dolby Atmos, surround sound, 4K large format screen, and dude, there was so many. There was nobody. There was literally nobody there. It was so dead in there. So, right to you, Nick. Right to you with another one, Nick.
Yeah, I want to. Oh my God, the plot is something that we have to get into in the discussion phase of this, so I don't necessarily want to jump on the plot right now because there's so much that's terrible about this plot. But I'm going to make it simple. Optimus fucking Prime. And I don't mean the character. I love the character of Optimus Prime. I love Peter. God, I can't remember the voice actor's name now. Peter. Peter. What? Peter. What is it? God damn it! I can't remember.
Are you asking me the original voice actor? I honestly
Peter
have to
Cullen.
look it up.
That's it.
There you go.
Yep. Sorry, I just couldn't remember his last name. All right. I love Peter Cullen. I love the voice work that he does for this character. Even in Michael Bay's movies, he still manages to make this character like at least decent. And what this film decides to do is it decides to remove Optimus Prime from like 90% of it. He's in the very beginning 90%. Of it, and then you cut back to him very, very briefly for most of the film, and he shows back up at the end of the film. And let me tell you, and they brought in fucking Hot Rod, which Jesus fucking Christ. But the fact that you take literally the best Transformer out of the goddamn film for 90% of it is just horrendously terrible. Unbelievably. I mean, these franchises, this franchise specifically just does not have a lot of great characters to really work with. So to sideline your best one for most of it is unbelievably terrible, and it only hurt this movie overall. I'm going to kick it back over to Kevin.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with you on that, and I know I think that's what you were going with in terms of the marketing that you mentioned. I'm sure we'll talk about that more later. But I think one thing that I noticed is the horrible use of some of their, I guess you could say it was like the B-list or the B-team actors. So first off, like the girl that's in it, and you see her in the trailer that says like we're gonna fight and we're gonna whatever. Isabella Moner, she played Isabella in there, and then Jared Carmichael playing Jimmy. Both of these. Well, first I'll start with the girl. I actually felt as though she had some semblance of like a cool character that I could relate to. She was a tough kid that like obviously was living out on the streets, and she had her Transformer with her, and it was kind of like I really wanted to kind of explore her more, but I felt like they kind of brought her in just to bring Cade Yeager, Mark Wahlberg's character in, and like give him a daughter, for this movie. But they never really explored her, and I felt like that was another shortcoming. It was kind of like these different little chess pieces that are put in there to kind of play the game. And the same thing with Jared Carmichael as Jimmy. Like, this guy is actually very smart, very funny, but he was just reduced to like gimmicky jokes were just horrible, and so I just felt he
was such a stereotypical character, which
exactly
I absolutely hated about it.
I felt so bad for him, and
then they took him out. He was gone for a while in the movie, and then he came back, and then he started doing the shtick all over again. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, obviously, like this, your job sucks. Get over it, and like it's time to fight for your planet. Like, please stop talking about the job.
But that honestly leads me to my next negative. As we move on here with this awesome positive review for Transformers: The Last Stand. I mean, The Last Night, or whatever it's called. Okay, here's one of my biggest negatives. Okay, the casting call sheet that said cast the girl that looks the closest to fucking Megan Fox, but is British.
Right.
Find her. Seriously. No, she has to look. Michael's like, nope, she's not going to do it. Find a chick that's British that looks like Megan Fox, but has the biggest forehead you've ever seen on the big screen.
Oh, my God.
Sorry to be a little bit harsh there, guys, but
I know.
I mean, I kept telling Moises, I'm like, I can't stop looking at her forehead. I'm sorry. And he's like, dude, you're so mean. I'm like, I can't help it.
Check. Sound check.
And they're in spirit, but I mean, honestly, seriously, could they not have tried any harder to make this girl look like Megan Fox? Her eyes, her face, like the way her face is, everything. Like, she looks like a British Megan Fox. And yes, Loisos did comment about the joke about her being in the stripper dress and Mark Wahlberg's character mentioning that she's in a stripper dress. Yes, I did think that was funny, but I'm like, come on, you guys are really grasping at straws here. I mean, the girl that played Wahlberg's daughter in the last one did not want to come back for this one, so we have these really lame thrown in story moments where he's trying to like text his daughter to try to add in those character moments like he cares. You know, and the chick before that, hey man, that chick was just a Victoria's Secret model. So yeah, like fans are just basically sitting there like, we want something as good as Megan Fox was in the first 2 movies. And guess what? She was never good at all. But either way, let's cast some chick that looks just like a British Megan Fox. I mean, seriously, there it is. That's it. I'll move on to Nick. Go ahead. You can take it, my friend.
Oh my fucking God. Well, I'm gonna give it, and this comes with a big middle finger. Actually, no, this comes with a big to Michael Bay. Because what's one thing that we've complained about for all of these movies, Justin, is how the Decepticons really feel like they're just bland, faceless, stupid, annoying, whatever robots, okay? So in this movie, he doubles down. He doubles down, and they give each of the Transformers, each of the Decepticons, this unbelievably stupid Suicide Squad-ish type intro when they're trying to like, which ones are you going to release?
I knew you were going to touch on this. I knew you were going to do this.
Decepticons, and literally, like, it's because, like, okay, we want to make sure they have some kind of a personality or whatever, but then, like, once again, in these movies, the Decepticons literally, like, the Autobots might as well be fighting against a fucking sheet of paper. They're so terrible and inept at what they fucking do. They're horrible. They're just stupid. They're so fucking stupid. And Megatron, why is Megatron always somebody's bitch? Why? Like, literally, they cannot figure out, like, another goddamn character motivation for this character.
5 movies in, man.
Do
Seriously.
something. I just can't get it. But yeah, like the Suicide Squad type intros for the different Decepticons, I was like, you've got to be fucking shitting me right now that this is actually happening in this movie.
Well, I have to ask you real quick, not to cut in. I know we're not doing this, but I just have to say, I literally turned to Loisos when that happened. I said, are they like trying to make fun of that? Are they literally doing that because the suits in the room said that was a cool way to introduce characters in that movie that everyone shit on and it made a bunch of money? I literally was like, wait a minute. Like, I laughed, but I was like, wait, are they making fun of this? Are they trying to do this to be cool? I couldn't tell. I think it's probably the latter, honestly.
It's just terrible. All right, so I'm going to pose a question to the panel here because there's a lot of stuff that we probably want to move on to in the discussion phase. Does anyone else have anything else they want to add to the stuff that they really hated about this movie before we get into a quote-unquote in-depth... we're going to go more in-depth on this film than this script could possibly have ever done with its characters or with its plot. But, you know, anybody else have anything else they want to add to this segment before we jump into the discussion?
I will say this. I'm extremely upset at this film because it, in some ways, put a damper on my Father's Day. And I've said this on the reviews when I've given the reviews and stuff like that. My wife and kids, they got me a $25 gift card to AMC. I figured, you know, like, I knew that Transformers wasn't going to be that great. But I said, you know what? Let me go see it in IMAX 3D. Treat myself. Since, you know, it's like money that I don't have to like pay out of my pocket or whatever. And I felt bad for doing that. Like, this movie sucked that much that I really felt like I wasted the gift for Father's Day. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Understandable, man. I
Justin,
can relate.
anything else you want to throw on here?
Stop changing Megatron's damn design. I know they do it in every single movie. But you put the image up on our live stream right now, and he looks like one of those dudes that has like the curly Q mustaches. He doesn't look badass anymore. Like, I legit loved Hugo Weaving's voice as Megatron in the first Transformers. Like, he felt menacing. The design was cool. You know, people are giving me a lot of crap lately.
I am
because
glad that they brought Frank Welker back to do the voice of Megatron in the film, though. I am glad that Frank Welker was doing the voice.
Either way, though, I mean, like, for me, I'm someone that didn't hate the original. I mean, I feel like my number one thing that I hate about this movie is that there is great potential to do a decent, a good, yes, a possibly even great Transformers movie. And they just keep making these garbage fucking movies that are the same thing. And I mean, but like I said, we expected it. Bay's got his hands in it, and even after he leaves this, because supposedly he's not directing the next one, if there is one, if those damn Chinese over there, I mean, yes, Boy Sauce, I'm being racist, shut up, but they're the ones overseas that are making this movie money that will give a sequel to this or that Bumblebee spinoff or anything else. But overall, yeah, I've had it. Let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty gritty of this thing.
Real quick, I was looking at the Megatron image, and I kept trying to rack my brain, like, what is it that really looks like? District 9. It looks like
you're right. Oh my God.
Like Alien or whatever.
I didn't even notice that.
It's like one of the
yeah.
Oh my
God.
Wow.
It's horrible.
Wow. Wow.
What a ripoff.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Well, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to lead into the in-depth discussion of this film here, and I am going to take specific aim at the plot of this film, which, here's the thing about these Transformers movies. If you would just make them simple, relatively simple, if you would just water down the plot to the point where, it's a relatively simple beginning and end. But what this film does is it makes the most convoluted and stupid bunch of bullshit nonsense. First of all, it bastardizes and shits all over the King Arthur legend by shoving Transformers into it. Sweet goddamn Jesus. And then it takes all this stuff and it throws this insanely convoluted plot at you. Again, Anthony Hopkins as a member of the House of the Whittakins. Yeah, it's so convoluted and unnecessarily stupid to get to where they are at from point A to point B. The plot of this film could have been simplified and easily an hour could have been cut out of this thing, but because they wanted, literally, it was just them in a room. They make so much money. And they just wanted to sit here and be like, okay, what do we want to throw into this movie? It's the last, quote-unquote, the last Transformers movie. What can we throw in here, including the kitchen sink, to make this thing into whatever? So what they would do is they were like, oh, well, we want Nazis in the movie. Okay, well, we'll have a scene where all of a sudden Transformers were around during the Second World War. Oh, man, I'd really like to shoot something like it's in the Dark Ages and have King Arthur and Merlin in the movie. Okay, well, we'll just fucking it's so convoluted. It's so unnecessary. It's so goddamn stupid. It's so fucking stupid. I'm gonna burst a blood vessel. Somebody go.
I'll throw it to Kevin. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, when you come into the movie and suddenly you're back in the Dark Ages, and then this metal dragon comes out of nowhere, and the whole thing with Merlin being a drunk, it's just so unnecessary. And I think the thing about it is, we go to the movie, we check out this film because we want to be entertained. But we don't want to be insulted in terms of our intelligence. And I think that was part of the issue, is that they just kept trying to throw in so many figures from history or mythology, and it was totally unnecessarily. Honestly, you could have just picked up with the girl, because I actually thought it was kind of interesting seeing this world in which, humans are trying to keep the Transformers that are on Earth kind of out of a certain area, and how the girl is kind of living within the realm of the Transformers. I mean, that kind of was interesting. So let's just cut to that. We don't need all the extra Merlin stuff. In fact, if they had kept that, they cut all the Dark Ages stuff out and just started there, you could bring that in with the whole exposition of Anthony Hopkins, and it would have been okay, I learned it there, but all the flashbacks and all the bringing in, historical figures, that was just totally unnecessary.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was definitely unnecessary, and it took me out of the movie. I'm like, really? We're supposed to believe that these Transformers have been around for this long? Now, giving them some history, I understand. And I'm going to throw this out there. I forget the bitch's name. The female Transformer. Sorry to be, I'm being vicious here. What was that thing's name? That thing that floated around and made Optimus Prime do her bidding.
I don't even remember her name.
Well, whatever. That was
Yeah.
stupid. It was stupid. It looked like it looked like Medusa, and it floated around. And
We're going to get death threats for this again because we don't remember
Oh.
the names of the characters in the film because the film is so bad and forgettable that we can't remember anything.
ladies
that
and
fucking
gentlemen,
happened.
this is a real thing. For those of you that are new to the Epic Film Guys podcast, and for those of you that have listened 1,000 times over, you still have to hear it again. Transformers: Age of Extinction was a video review that myself and Nick did the early days of the Epic Film Guys. And yes, I did receive death threats. Nick deleted a bunch of them. I got them on my personal page. And then Nick commented a bunch of the images of those actual comments in the Hopesters dumpster recently. You got to see them. They're hilarious. They're fantastic. But like I said, that's why we have to do this review, because we have to actually follow up Age of Extinction. Now, I will go out on a limb here and say this right now. I did not hate this movie as much as I hated Age of Extinction. Number one. Number two, I did not hate it as much as I hated King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, which came out this year. All right, I'm just going to say that. But the movie took a lot of things. Okay, so Michael Bay sat down at that table with all those suits and said, what's been popular? What's in since the last Transformers? Stranger Things. Okay, so let's have a group of hodgepodge, badass kids go in and try to search for whatever they're searching for,
Jesus,
and look around to go in and look at the rubble where this battle site was. So there could be a bunch of fun kiddie moments in there. What else has been big since the last Transformers? Oh, yeah. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. A young girl who's trying to find her way, who walks into and leads herself to a little cute robot who makes cute little noises and rolls around. Oh, let's throw that in the movie. So I'm like, dude, they're literally taking all of these different things that have been in style and popular since the last Transformers, and they're trying to interject them into a Transformers movie. Now, again, I go back to what you said earlier, Kevin, with the younger girl. She was actually legitimately good in the film. I think she did a pretty good job. I mean,
I will
actually,
not to cut
she
you
cried
off
on
too much,
cue.
Justin, but like probably pretty much the only scene that I actually really enjoyed in the film was when, and I can't remember the Transformer's name, but that Transformer that she was like hiding with in the whatever zone it was, when the Transformer died, like I actually like her performance was good enough that I really enjoyed and believed that like she cared about this big giant robot.
Of course,
she was actually pretty good in the film. But then the problem with it is, after that happens, they give her literally nothing to fucking do the whole movie.
And then at the end of the movie, when destruction is happening, and I'll give them this much, okay? When the destruction is happening, she's kind of hanging out there, which you never let a young girl hang out in that kind of destruction. But another positive note, which I did forget earlier on when we were talking about positive things, they pulled away from the norm here. What do we usually see Transformers doing when they're destroying things, Nick? Kevin, what are they usually destroying? What are they in the middle of?
Cities, yeah. They actually did move outside
cities.
of the city, yeah.
So they pulled away from the city atmosphere and environment, and they took it on what looked like a floating island to me. But which was at least visually something different that they did. And yes, Lois also did say in the live stream that they brought Mecha King Ghidorah in the film. They had a 3-headed giant, Transformer dragon. I'm grasping at straws here, but I mean, literally, ladies and gentlemen,
the best part of this review, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you want me to say? I mean, this movie from start to finish is just crap. I mean, there's literally nothing worse than this that you would go and plan on paying to see on an every couple year basis. Like you go in like, oh, it's another Transformers movie. Okay. I'm going to go blow more of my hard-earned money on that when I could go spend it on groceries, or I could go see a movie of worth, or I could put it into a savings account and pay for my kid to have college. You know, you're going to see a Transformers movie. So I'm leaving it at that. There it is.
All right, and we'll pitch it back over to Kevin, man. There's got to be a lot more about this film that you really wanted to tear into, because I made a comment after I saw it that I said it still wasn't worse than Live by Night. And I know you haven't seen Live by Night, but just I know that you had to have hated even more about this movie. So throw more shit on this fire, man. Throw more shit on this bonfire. Let's burn it down, baby.
Let's do it, man. Yeah, no, I think one of the things that like a film like Wonder Woman, right? And I know it's kind of split. I actually enjoyed Wonder Woman, but one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was I could follow what was happening in the action. And I get the fact that it's a Michael Bay film, and typically you can't always follow the action, but I felt like it was even much more so here. Like, I was really confused as to where we were on the battlefield at times. And it's like almost like he just like let multiple cameras run at one time, and the editor just was like, oh, let's use camera A, B, C, and like just jumping around, but not really telling a story with it. And so I would say, like, just in terms of like the visuals and actually leading us through the action, I think that was just absolutely horrible. I hated it, and I had to turn away sometimes.
And you said you had seen this in a large IMAX format. You saw it in 3D, Kevin?
Yeah, which 3D.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I could have taken off
sorry,
the glasses. Man. It was horrible.
I wish you were still in the local area because you could check out that Theater A at the Alamo Drafthouse Theater. It's beautiful. And I actually sat way closer to seeing the movie than I usually do, and I didn't wear my glasses like I normally do. And I feel like I could see stuff a little bit better than I had seen in the previous films. There were some cool slow-mo shots earlier on with Bumblebee and stuff, but I have to say this right now. We're doing this podcast review. Who wants Transformers spin-off movies? Who wants 15 more Transformers movies? Who wants that Bumblebee spin-off? Seriously, I mean, who wants it? You tell me, because the box office receipts for this thing outside of the international response is seriously the lowest in the franchise history. My question is, who's asking for these movies at this point?
I don't know. It's not me.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's not me. And so that here's where we come to the dead end here, to the brick wall. I mean, I love mindless action. Nick likes mindless action when there's a good story. Kevin, I know you like some good action. And hey, Lois also likes garbage. He likes complete garbage. So this would have been the movie that he would have enjoyed. But no, I mean, so it's a committee making a movie to make a movie to make money. Does this franchise still have any breath left? Is it going to keep going? That's the question.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate answer to that is yes, because we know the movie is performing very, very well overseas. These films, I mean, let's just face it, these kinds of films especially are not made for a domestic audience anymore. The worldwide audience, especially overseas in China, which, you know, there were a couple of Chinese studios that helped to produce this thing. You know, they love these movies and they're eating them up to the point where, I mean, yeah, we're going to get more of them in that respect. And it's just, like I said, it's just unfortunate. You know, you could very, very easily simplify this. Just make it a very simple, very straightforward plot from A to B. That's all you have to do. And then the rest of it, you can just make this really fun robots fighting against, like, make the villains actually fucking matter, make them actually do something. The villains, once again, and Quintessa, Loisos corrected us over in the live stream because we didn't remember her name. She is a joke. She's a complete and total joke. And one of the things I mentioned earlier in the review was about the marketing for this film. About the only kudo I can give to this film is to the marketing, because they purposefully, in the trailers, made it look like Optimus Prime was going to be the bad guy for the whole film. And that actually wasn't what happened. They actually made his eyes that purple color in the trailers, and in scenes in the movie, they weren't. So they purposely did that with scenes in the movie where they made it look like Optimus Prime was a bad guy when he really wasn't. And that's about the
and the posters and everything else.
Yeah,
I mean that's, you know, they tried something different with the marketing for this movie.
I don't think it was bad, though. I don't think it was a bad thing overall for the marketing, because
no, of course not.
Optimus Prime, unfortunately, like I said, you get about 10 minutes of him in the film, and that's terrible for a Transformers film. But you have to make it. I can go back to this as many fucking more times on this podcast as is humanly possible, but in order to really have an audience empathize with and understand the journey of the heroes in the film and to help them overcome whatever darkness that they're facing, you have to make that darkness fucking menacing.
That villain.
And once again, in a Transformers movie, these villains, like I said, they might as well have been fighting a sheet of fucking paper. They're a joke. They are terrible in this movie. the villains are just trash. Everything about this movie is trash. And shut up, Loy Sauce. And I really, really, really hope that this franchise is dead and gone. Or, you know what? If you get somebody that's not Michael Bay in the driver's seat of one of these things to where they're like, okay, we've been going way too big. We've been trying to convolute and expand on and make this story so much bigger than it needs to be. Just boil it down to, here's your Decepticons. They want to do this, and they're going to fucking do whatever they can to achieve that end. And then here's the Autobots fighting against them. And it's not that you can't have that human element intermingled with it. You can. You really, really can. But just simplify it.
But
you don't need to have all this convoluted
Nick,
fucking
the most important
thing,
the most important thing about the original cartoon, the original show, and the original film was that the human element was secondary to the Transformers. That's what we need. We need some characters to be able to relate to, but we want to pay attention to the Transformers. We want to care about them. And when you're giving us mindless, brainless human characters to pay attention to, and I'm sorry, Mark Wahlberg, yes, you signed up for this, and we know that you hey, man, I give you props on fulfilling your contract obligations for this thing. But the point is, I want to see the Transformers. I care about their world. Go and deal with their world first. Make it science fiction. I literally don't have to see human characters throughout most of the whole film. Seriously. I just want to see the Transformers, and I want to see it done well. There's so much a way to get it done. Think of the recent Star Trek films. Think of so many of the great science fiction films that have been in the last 5-6 years. There's definitely some writers out there that could tackle it, and there's definitely some up-and-coming directors that could handle it. So for me, I feel like the franchise itself definitely has a future, just not with Michael Bay and just not on the track that they're leading with now. So let's get to it, guys. I know Nick is not doing a final rating. Nick is not doing ratings on the show. Nope. I am still doing ratings, but I'm going to throw it to you, Kevin, because I'm still doing a rating. So I'm expecting you to do a rating with your with your final thoughts on the film and your rating of the film.
You know, I was just thinking about this, right? So let's take it back 10 years ago, 2007, maybe 2006. I remember seeing the trailer for Transformers.
Oh, man.
And I remember being so skeptical because I was like, how are they going to make, these large robots out of like cars and the semi-truck and all that kind of stuff? And I just remember when I finally saw it and I was like, I'm a believer now. And I think now we've gotten to a point 10 years later, what is this, the 5th iteration or, and I've lost that wonder. Like, it is just not like you said, it was the robots that had the heart that you really wanted to follow. And there's something about that first film, like you were saying with Shia being in it, like, there was something about his character, the interaction with Bumblebee, and all that kind of stuff that really just kind of worked.
Yeah.
And now it's just overblown tentpole movie, summer blockbuster, and the life has been sucked out of it. And so I hope it dies. I gave it an F. This is my first F of the year. Yeah, so I really didn't like it.
All right, so I'm going to finish off what you just started there. Then I'll throw it to Nick because he's not doing ratings anymore. He is stubborn and has come up with a new way of doing things on the Epic Film Guys podcast. He does not want to do a rating, but we are going to, at least some point, ladies and gentlemen, come up with something that we can cohesively come to terms with where we discuss movies, where there's an outcome at the end. That's not like a number rating or, a letter rating or something like that. But for me, I'm going to say this much. Like I said in the beginning of this discussion, I walked into the theater expecting nothing. And what I came out with was nothing. And it was a Transformers movie. So for me, it's still not the worst film of the year for me. It did not anger me. It did not upset me to the point that it upset the both of you. And I did not hate it by any means, because what it did was the same thing the last few films did. And actually, I probably enjoyed it more than Age of Extinction to a slight extent. That's what Shia LaBeouf was in it. He was in it in like a small cameo because his picture was in it in a frame. And English Megan Fox, her giant forehead made the entire film definitely worthwhile to sit through and see how giant it was. Not being mean, slightly being mean. But no, for real. I would give at least my number rating on the show a 5 out of 10 for Transformers: The Last Stand. Oh wait, I forgot. It's called
what?
The Last Night. Yes, because here's the thing: the film set out to do one thing. It knew what it was doing. It did it, and that's how it walked out with. And I wasn't angry about it. It may have been.
That's so generous, Justin.
It may have been a shit show of a movie. It may have been a shit show of a movie. But you know what? At least it knew what it was. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. And the people that love these movies, you better believe they're sitting on some other message board or some other fan forum out there going, this is the best of them yet. The action is the best ever. Did you see that awesome punch that Optimus Prime threw on fucking Megatron? Seriously, I mean, that's my whole point that I'm trying to make here. We're this far into the franchise, we have to at least accept where they've been going with it. Yes, the story was crap, but they've all been crap. All of them. Even though I slightly enjoy the first one. So yes, 5 out of 10 for me. Still not the worst film of the year for me. Throwing it to Nick.
Wow.
Bum.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of this film, I wish that you got. I wish that you could focus on just the effects, just the battles between the robots, and things like that, to where you could say that, oh well, it's just a great visual spectacle. At least for me. Like, I can't, because they're throwing so much shit in here, and like they have incredibly long scenes of exposition over and over and over again, where they're dragging this thing out like endlessly. It's just horrible. It's just terrible in literally every single sense of the word. My feelings are more than clear on this film without me stamping a number or a letter grade or anything like that on it. So that's it. That's Transformers: The Last Night for you. It's just pants.
I forgot it was the last. Wait, is Transformers: The Last Stand or The Last Night or the last?
I'm calling it The Last Stand. I don't care. Brett Ratner had a hand in
the last sequel. The last sequel. The last sequel. That's what we all hoped it would be called. But like I said, for those fans out there that are listening to this show right now, this mini-sode, tell us, are you one of those out there that is hoping for these spin-offs? Do you want to see a Bumblebee spin-off? Do you want to see more sequels to this franchise? In the Michael Bay vein? Tell us why. And then we'll know to make sure that we have you deleted and unfollowed from the page. Because we don't want you on there. No, in all reality, we know there's an audience for this. We know that it's dwindling based on the box office receipts, even though those Chinese love these movies. But hey, it is what it is. That's our discussion.
That pretty much is the be all end all of this whole thing. When you get down right to it, it is what it is. And I mean, they know the audience for these movies. They know who to market these movies to, and they know how to make the money that they want to make with these films. I mean, it's as simple as that. It really, really is. But that's going to do it for this mini-sode review of Transformers: The Last Night. We do want to thank our guest, Mr. Kevin Sampson, for joining us for this from Picture Lock. And we are going to... No, that's wrong. Sorry. Hang on. All right. And I want to thank every single one of you out there for listening, and
we will see you at the movies.
All right, and everybody,
should it be more sexy than that though?
I don't think.
Should it be like more like? Should it be like? We'll see you. Oh, wait a minute! Something just started to come out of me. I don't even know what that was.
Oh, God.
I know what it was.
I don't think that wasn't real. That wasn't a thing.
I felt it.
Didn't he get retired?
Hey, he showed up at a gay bar in Binghamton, New York last week. I just got wind of it. He's out on his own right now.
I was there.
He was staying. He was staying with director Brennick of Netflix and Swell for a few weeks. I know that for a fact as well. Loisos won't have anything to do with him though. So,
all right. Well, everybody can stop record, and then export that as like Transformers. Whatever, just make sure you tag it Transformers Audio so I know.
Can I tag it Pile of Shit?
You can also tag it Pile of Shit if you really want to. All right, and yeah, and then when we roll back into segment 2, Justin, what do you want to do first? Do you want to do best 5 movies of the year so far, or do you want to do just random discussion?
Kevin, What do you want,
Yeah.
Kevin?
We do
do
top
Kevin.
5. That's cool.
Top 5? Did you guys want to still keep the Rotten Tomatoes thing in here? Did you want?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking
Okay.
if you want to do that first, or if you want to do the top 5.
No,
or
no.
whatever.
I'm just asking Kevin to make sure he's still good.
I'm good. Yeah, we could. I guess. Let's think about it. Because what would logically make sense? Because I feel like they both kind of complement one another. Like talking Rotten Tomatoes and then the top 5. Whichever way y'all want to do it, I'm cool.
We could, you know what we should do? We should do our top 5 of the year so far, and then it could lead into and like kind of be a cliffhanger, and then we'll finish off with. It doesn't have to be an in-depth discussion because we all have our own brief opinions on how Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic works, in influence to box office receipts and how films do, and if we decide to go see them and whatnot. It doesn't have to be. I feel
We'll
like
do
our
top 5.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All right, so everybody stop record and export your audio and do whatever, and then take your pisses and do your things, and I'm gonna play the sweet ass intro again before we come back.
I'll be right back. But I'm gonna say this much, Kevin, you need to come on more often, dude. No, I'm serious,
fun,
dude.
man.
So
Yeah,
I agree.
It's picture.
We fucking love you, dude.
I mean, you should come on and even you and Nick could do like the more serious films.
Gotcha. I'm down.
You can go watch Live by Night and then come on, and I can trash it with you.
No, Nick, let Live by Night go, please.
I will never let it
Will you
go.
please let that go? Seriously, you're gonna make me watch this.
Transformers: The Last Night was better than Live by Night.
I know. And Transformers: The Last Night was better than King Arthur. But you know what? I'm gonna go buy Live by Night on Ultra 4K HD for full price, $25.99, just for you. And I'm gonna watch
Jesus Christ!
And I'm gonna make sure you see that I bought it for $24.99.
I'm playing this goddamn intro now.
And I'll be right back. Don't mind me, Kevin. I'm kind of wacky. I told you that pre-workout was going to mess with me, dude.
I know. It's all right.
I told you. I can't help it, man.
I'll get some batteries for this Tascam. Hold tight.
tell you that you're probably gonna find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat.
Check. Sound check.
Check.
Loy sauce.
Oh, man.
Check. Sound check.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
No, keep quiet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got more big things coming in the future of the Epic Film Guys podcast, and this is your chance to be part of the next one. Now, if you're a long-time listener to this podcast, you know that we used to do challenges, okay? Every October, horror
Nice
movie
headband.
challenge. Every November, never seen it November. All right, now we're bringing back challenges with a little bit of a twist. All right, this is going to require you, the listeners, to participate and let us know what it's time to watch. So coming up next month, in the month of July...
Get me Steven Spielberg.
He's unavailable.
Then get me his non-union Mexican equivalent.
Schindler and I are like peas in a pod. All right. So, yes, we're going to do 5 Spielberg films for the month of July, and it's going to be up to you, the audience, to pick those films. So go ahead, write us with your top 5 Spielberg flicks of all time. We're going to compile the list by the end of June, and the top 5 films on the list we're going to watch and talk about on the podcast coming up all through the month of July. And we're going to have prizes for those of you who are going to play along at home. We want you guys to get involved. Let us know what Spielberg films you're watching on top of the 5 that we're going to do that month, and we'll have prizes. So stay tuned for more details on that. In the meantime, please get those picks over to us. You can call FanViews at 607-444-1473. You can email us at epicfilmguysny@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, at Epic Film Guys. Get at us. Let us know your Spielberg top 5, and we will do the challenge.
Listen, Senor Spielbergo, I want you to do for me what Spielberg did for Oscar Schindler.
Schindler es bueno. Señor Burns es el diablo.
Listen, Spielbergo, Schindler and I are like peas in a pod. We're both factory owners. We both made shells for the Nazis, but mine worked, damn it. Now go out there and win me that festival.
Keep that quiet now, boy. I tell you right now, Mr. Sir Skins, get Dan out of here. Dan's not even here.
Yeah, I haven't even seen Dan in the chat in a while. I don't know if Dan's still here. I know he he had not too much sleep last night, so he may have passed out on us, actually. All right.
Well, then.
Go ahead and get recording.
That'll be an Epic Film Guys exclusive, Kevin. Loisos can do nothing unless he has the Epic Film Guys involved.
Review the movie.
He's under contract, not really, but
all right, everybody get recording for me.
Nice.
He should be though. He's good enough to be under contract. I'll tell you that much.
And
he sure is.
Then once you guys are recording, we'll start with Kevin. We're a sound check.
Mic check. Sound check. I can't do it like Brian. It's awesome. But anyways, mic check.
All right, and Justin. I'm not even trying to sync to that.
1, 1, 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Jesus God. Oh Christ.
5 people in the live stream here.
Yeah, it's unfortunately midnight, so it might be just a little bit late for some people.
We'll make this quick, I promise, Kevin. I know you got a lot to do tomorrow. So.
All
right. Let's go ahead and roll in here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We love you. Thank you for listening to the Epic Film Guys podcast. You guys are amazing. You're the lifeblood of the show. You're why we do the show, and you guys are awesome. Now, we're going to jump into, in just a moment, our top 5 of the year so far. Now, it's only about halfway through the year, so who knows? This list is probably going to completely change for everybody on the show.
It will!
By the end of the year. I'm certain it will. But this fucking evil twin biscotti.
You know, I'm going to tell you, my worst film of the year is your burp. There it is. My worst of whatever it is your burp from drinking the beer that you haven't sent to me yet. Oh, it has toasted nuts, though. I know you said it had almonds in it, so I consider it toasted nuts. Close enough. I did drink one of your beers while we were discussing Transformers, our mini-sode that will drop prior to our normal episode, right? You'll get it done before then?
It may actually drop after it. It'll probably drop after it, to be honest. I'll probably get the regular episode done and then get the mini-sode done.
Because you suck. I love you still. But it was good. It's just way too sweet. Dude, way too sweet. It was carbonated.
Which one did you open? Which one did you open? Was it the Imperial IPA?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the same one you had last week then. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but the other thing you gave me wasn't carbonated, though.
Oh, that's because you put it in the fucking fridge. It probably was. It just didn't have enough time. It happens.
Your fault.
I hate you. All right. So before we jump into our top 5 of the year so far, all right, I wanted to just give a quick plug to the Spielberg Challenge. Now, we're not going to play the sound drop during the show this week because the poll is currently live over in our Facebook group. Again, that's the Hopesters Dumpster over on Facebook. You got to join that Facebook group or follow us on Twitter at Epic Film Guys, and you're going to find that Spielberg Challenge. Again, it's your top 5 Spielberg films. Vote for your top 5, and the 5 films that win are the films that we are going to review for the month of July. Well, not review, but discuss. We're going to discuss them as part of the challenge, and then, again, we're going to have prizes and all sorts of stuff. So make sure you stay tuned for the Spielberg Challenge. And now, Justin, I think we got to get into this, man. We've got so much stuff left to discuss on the show before we bid adieu on our 2-year episode. 2 fucking years of podcasting, man. It's just amazing. So why don't we kick things off with our guest, Kevin from Picture.
Kevin.
Thank you man. For joining us, Kevin. We love you. We're so glad you're here. So I'm going to kick it right over to you to start this list off. Your number 5 movie of the year so far.
I really haven't won. I haven't seen enough films, and I've seen so many bad ones that some kind of way my number 5 is All Eyes on Me, the Tupac biopic that just came out.
No way. No, Kevin, wait, hold on. I have to stop you there for a minute. Not to hang on this, but you gave this movie a bunch of shit. Did you not? You told me not to see this movie. It's at your number 5? No way.
I gave it a C-. And in terms of the grading that I've done thus far, for some reason it makes it into the top 5. So it's what I've seen thus far, and it absolutely sucks. But that's where it is.
I can't believe this. And Alamo Drafthouse was playing it last week, and I had a chance to see it. You told me not to see it, and now I'm missing out on your top 5. It's your fault. I'm just telling you.
Wow. I think that's a testament.
Did you like it?
That's a testament to 2016 in films, or I'm sorry, 2017. That's a testament.
Did you forget what year it is?
In film, I did. That's a testament to 2017 in film. That one of the films that he wouldn't recommend is his number 5 of the year so far, like best of the year. It's just I think that's a testament to the year, because my list is going to look pretty similar. There's a lot of films on it that unfortunately I was probably more negative on than positive, but
sucks to be you, though.
That's just the way that the list fucking folds out, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Understandable.
All right. Well, yeah, okay. So the Tupac, I unfortunately did not get the chance to see this, Kevin. So can you tell us just a little bit about it?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
do,
okay,
because we
so-
haven't talked about it on the show at all.
Yeah. So all eyes on me. This is a deal, right? Tupac Shakur was an amazing, an electrifying artist. Just in terms of like when he spoke, you listened, right? And so coming off of Straight Outta Compton, you know, that was like a stellar hip hop biopic. And honestly, like it set the bar. So with Tupac, like everything was there to kind of have that same, like, what were the things that made Straight Outta Compton so amazing? It had relatable characters, a great script, but then it just had those things like, you know, jealousy, kind of the underdog coming up, winning, you know, all that kind of stuff. In this film, they missed a lot of that. And unfortunately, they kind of give us that stereotypical biopic in terms of just they start out talking, or he's in the 1995 when he was in the Clinton Correctional Facility. So they kind of give us a bunch of different movies in one, where it's kind of like him kind of telling about his past while he's in the correctional facility. And then like he gets out and we kind of see what happens there and eventually get into death row. So the reason that I really kind of didn't enjoy this movie as much is because, and I forget the guy's name, Demetrius Shipp Jr., I think, is the guy that actually played Tupac.
And I heard he looks identical, and he did I heard he did a good job at least of looking and feeling like Tupac a little bit.
Yeah, there were glimmers of like, oh wow, that's Pac, but then at the same time, Pac was so dynamic in terms of as a performing artist that they made the mistake of actually putting Demetrius Shipp Jr. in like a frame by frame of like Pac when he was doing
With
Juice,
Pac,
but they put, and that just totally, because automatically you're comparing, and there's no comparing. Like Pac just hands down,
I totally agree with you.
Kicks his butt every single time. So yeah, it was things like that really kind of brought it down and made it more like on the Notorious level, the Biggie movie that came out.
No, I had never seen that.
Back.
I had never seen that,
Yeah.
Kevin. I heard a lot of bad things about it, but people forget that Pac had like a film career, and he was actually really good in the films that he was in. And you had referenced Straight Outta Compton, which was one of my top 5 films of 2016. I love that film. That's one of my favorites of the past 10 years. I think it's one of the best biopics of any musical group or any musician or anyone of fame in general. So that just makes me not want to see that. But hearing that it's on your top 5 just makes me believe maybe you just need to see more movies, my friend.
I do. It's been we moved, so I haven't been able to get to it as much. And fortunately, there's people that have been doing the reviews for me on Picture Lock, so I haven't, you know, Picture Lock is definitely putting out reviews. It's just I haven't seen all the movies.
What in the hell are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? You can't hear me?
I'm around if you need me.
Oh. Now that I know.
I'm going to get to, Nick, my number 5. Boom. Shake it up, shake it up.
Redo that because you leaned away from the mic.
God damn it. Hold on.
I don't want you sounding like you're in a fucking wind tunnel here.
Okay, my number 5 of the year is a French film. It is Julia Ducournau's Raw. It is that cannibal movie that came out a couple months ago that no one paid any attention to, that I got the opportunity to see at Alamo Drafthouse, which I absolutely adored so much. When a young vegetarian undergoes a carnivorous hazing ritual at a vet school, she basically becomes a carnivore and starts eating humans, a cannibal. And it's brutal, it's horrific, it's a great character piece, and it's entertaining, and I absolutely adored it. There's a tone and a feel of this movie that almost feels like an Italian horror film from the late 70s and early 80s, and it absolutely grabs you by the balls and pulls you in and never lets you go until the end of the film. It's a very personal movie, and I absolutely adored every single bit of it. So My number 5 film of the year is Raw. I know not a lot of people got a chance to see this movie in the theaters. It was very limited, super limited to release, but I had the chance to see it, and I absolutely love this movie so much. For number 5, it's Raw.
All right, and Loisos actually mentioned that as one of his honorable mentions for the year. We'll get to your picks, Loisos, when we get to the end here of our top 5 of the year so far. My number 5 is another film that Loisos mentioned as one of his honorable mentions, and I gotta do it, guys. It's Kong Skull Island. Now, while I did have some problems with this film, I didn't think it was perfect or anything by any means. I still really enjoyed a lot about it, and of course Kong himself was incredibly well realized. Fantastic action set pieces with Kong. I can't wait to see what they're going to do in Godzilla vs. King Kong. I think it's going to be amazing. So I don't have anything else to say about it. We did do a full episode review of it, so please check that out in our back catalog. But yeah, number 5 is Kong Skull Island. And back over to Kevin for your number 4.
Yeah, so it's exactly what you just said, Kong Skull Island. I know Justin and I, we kind of talked about this one.
We did.
And
yeah.
I know sometimes like Justin, you obviously, when you watch movies, it's kind of like you think about, well, what did you expect? And I was let down in some ways, but I do think that how, as Nick just said, the way that they just realized Kong and just seeing him in all his glory, especially like with the sun in the background and all that kind of stuff, like that was awesome. And so it was a cool adventure. It was a good ride. But it was kind of middle of the package for me. But I did have a fun time at the movie seeing that.
All right, yeah, it was a really fun time at the movies, if absolutely nothing else. And yeah, for anything that you can take negative about it, for anything that you can say about it that maybe detracted from it, Kong himself, the centerpiece of that film, absolutely shined. Just, yeah, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Godzilla vs. King Kong. I'm super excited for that. But Justin, it's time for your number 4.
Yeah, and it's funny to say that, yes, Kong Skull Island, a film that I thought would have been one of my top 5 of the year, is ending up on my honorable mentions list, because that's right, people. I got to see Edgar Wright's Baby Driver a few weeks ago with Loisos at an early screening in Washington, D.C. And
sound check.
It is my number 4. Man, is Baby Driver the movie to see this year? It's the movie to see this summer above anything else that I've seen so far. It's entertaining. It's funny. It's lovable. The characters are so great. And John Hamm is in it as a villain. Not only him, but Jamie Foxx. He plays a character named Bats that has bats tattooed up his throat, and John Bernthal and Kevin Spacey's in it, hamming it up and doing a great performance. It's such a great, funny, witty script with all these characters, and it's the best use of popular music in a film in over 10 years. Yes, that's right, Suicide Squad. Eat your heart out. Eat your heart the fuck out. This is the best use of popular music, and that goes for Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, too. It's so well done. I think Nick is really going to love the opening of this movie. If he doesn't walk out loving the opening of Baby Driver, then I'll literally quit podcasting, because it's so clever. It's so well shot. No, I'm telling you right now, seriously, this show will air.
I'm very excited.
This show will air the date that it comes out, and I can't wait to talk to you about it with Loisos on the show next week.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally it's my 4th of the year so far, and it's great. It's fantastic. Hey man, hey Marvel, guess what? You suck. You should have had Edgar Wright do Ant-Man. I'll leave it at that. There it is. Nick, and to you nice. For your number 4, my friend.
Ooh, all right. And my number 4 is a film I'm actually going to drop a very short review of right now, because it's a film I just got the chance to see this past weekend, and it is Rough Night. And believe it or not, there's been a lot of negative press around this movie, and a lot of people have really kind of bashed it and said it's terrible or whatever. I don't see why. Like, it's got literally a cavalcade of some of the best female comedians working today. You've got Jillian Bell, who of course is famous from Workaholics. You've got Alana Glazer, famous from Broad City. You've got Kate McKinnon, who great SNL standout, and in the Ghostbusters film last year, absolutely blew it out of the water. And you've got ScarJo kind of playing a straight man amongst all this, and you've got Zoe Kravitz in here as well. And I really, it's a very formulaic plot. It's nothing plot heavy where you're going to walk into it and be like, oh, that's ridiculous. It's easy to telegraph everything that's going to happen in this film, and there are some moments where it kind of drags just a little bit, but I will give it these positive mentions, okay? They put a spin on it, because the girls are all going to this crazy bachelor party. The girls are all going to this crazy bachelorette party and having this really crazy, wild, wacky time. And you've got that element of it, but then her fiance is having his own bachelor party, and the whole time they are doing this Italian wine tasting, this very fucking low-key, really like kind of silly event, and it's absolutely hilarious. And then at one point in the film, ScarJo's fiance thinks he's going to leave her, so he embarks on this road trip. And if you guys ever saw in the news that story about the astronaut who strapped on adult diapers and drove across the country to kill her fiance or whatever, they actually riff on that. They riff on that in this movie, where he is wearing adult diapers and then drives across the country taking sleeping pills and drinking Red Bulls and shit. And then at one point in the film, he does meth. It's fucking hilarious. And then Jillian Bell, I cannot say enough about her. She absolutely steals the show in this movie. Not to say that ScarJo is not good, Ilana Glazer is not good, or Zoe Kravitz isn't good. And you actually have Demi Moore shows up in this thing, and Ty Burrell, who is in Modern Family, who I absolutely love in Modern Family, shows up in this as this set of swingers that live in the beach house next door to the house the girls rent. Absolutely hilarious.
Tell me this, Nick. Tell me this. Is it better than Baywatch?
It's way better than Baywatch. Way better than Baywatch.
That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear.
I laughed my ass off, and like I said, Jillian Bell is comedic fucking gold. Her comedic timing, just the way, I don't know what it is about her, but the way that she delivers lines and the way that she kind of reacts to scenarios on screen is just fucking hilarious. That's why I loved her in Workaholics. That's why I love her here. Yeah, that's my number 4, Rough Night. See this movie. It's out right now. And if you're just a fan of comedies, like you're not going in expecting much, but you just want to laugh.
You know what, Nick? Here's the thing. That's great. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. This will definitely go into our discussion of Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic and a little bit on the show, because Rough Night is at a 48% Rotten, 59 reviews fresh, and 64 rotten. It's pretty divided, but it seems like a lot of people really enjoyed it. Audiences are at 39% that they liked it after 8,400.
I'm actually surprised to hear that audience rating. I'm actually really surprised, but I guess for me, and I know I'm going into this carrying the baggage that I'm a huge fan of Workaholics. I'm a huge fan of Broad City. So, and Kate McKinnon, of course, like I said, SNL, the Ghostbusters film. I'm absolutely loved what she did in that film as well. And Kate McKinnon's great in this, but like I said, Jillian Bell is in a fucking league of her own in this film.
It'll be adding a great...
I loved it.
Yeah, dude, it'll be adding a great little addition to our discussion about, hey, Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. So over to Kevin here for your number 3, Kevin.
Number 3, I have Wonder Woman. Actually really...
Fucking
no,
Stealer.
Not that. Get it out of here.
I really enjoyed that film. I think what we got in Wonder Woman for the first time in a long time, and I know I think last week you guys were kind of talking about the superhero genre and has it hit like its high point or whatever. But I think what we got in Wonder Woman was finally a superhero who genuinely wanted and desired to be a superhero. Like, she wants to do good. She wants to save the world. And it was reminiscent of Christopher Reeves in terms of his portrayal of Superman.
Yes.
And so I really enjoyed that part. And I think Gal Gadot did a great job in her role. And honestly, she was like the best thing of Batman versus Superman. And so just seeing Patty Jenkins' direction, again, like I was saying earlier in the show, you could actually follow all of the action. I mean, it was great writing, great everything. And I know a lot of people are like tell me somebody that likes the film that doesn't have a daughter or whatever. But honestly, like I can't wait till my daughter is old enough to see it, because there is something about how they use the juxtaposition of the time versus like her being a woman that's like, no, I'm going to go in this meeting and I'm going to speak. And I just love that whole, back and forth like undertone that was going on. So Wonder Woman's my number 3.
And to piggyback right off of you, Kevin, I'll make this as quick as possible. Wonder Woman is my number 3 as well. I absolutely adored the film. I loved it. It's my favorite DCEU film they've done yet. I like it better than Man of Steel. I like it better than Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Though I will admit this on the show, Man of Steel holds a more special place in my heart because there's something about that movie that's so special to me. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I saw it with Epic Film Guy Nick opening day,
you did.
and that giant IMAX, and there's things in that movie that no other comic book movie ever did up until that point. So whatever, keep talking trash. They can say what they want. But as a film, I feel like Wonder Woman is the best that they've come up with since Man of Steel. Think about it. We've had Man of Steel. We had Batman versus Superman. We had Suicide Squad. At this point, this is the best film, at least tonally and story-wise all around, where it hit the marks. It was enjoyable. And look at those box office proceeds, man. It's doing well. It's giving a good name to DC, and it's getting people excited for Justice League. There's a hype now for Justice League where, hey, man, give it a year ago, people were so pissed they didn't want to see Justice League. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is absolutely fantastic. She's one of the best performances of the year. She absolutely stunned me. Number 3, I loved Wonder Woman. It's one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. Number 3, there it is, and throwing it back on to Nick.
All right, well, this is going to be really simple. We're going to go straight to Kevin for number 2 because my number 3 is also Wonder Woman. So, yeah, right across the panel, look at that. All 3 of
awesome,
our number 3s.
Dude. Let's do a high
Wonder
five
Woman.
in the live stream.
Everybody.
Let's do a high five in the live stream.
High five. There we go. All right, so, yeah, back over to you, Kevin, for your number 2.
Number 2, I gotta say, man, Logan was amazing.
Stealing it again.
Yeah. Maybe we got the same number 1 then. But I really enjoyed that film, and I know you guys talked about this last week as well in terms of like what we can do when we actually take the rated R. And use it not in such a way that it's just to use it, just to put in a couple more F-bombs or whatever the case may be, but use it in such a way to tell a genuinely heart-wrenching story. I mean, just seeing, Wolverine and the state that he was in, the love story that exists between like him and, his daughter for all intents and purposes. Man, this was just such an awesome film, and this was really what like superhero films can be of that nature. So it's definitely my number 2. I hold it in high regard for the films that came out this year.
Very, very well said, Kevin. Very, very well said. And yeah, Justin, you're number 2.
Yeah, that's what it is right there. Kevin stole it right there. It's Logan. And it took a lot of back and forth for me to really think about this and decide what my number 1 of the film of the year was so far in film. And I just bought Logan an Ultra 4K HD. I have the 4K player. I've got the TV. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I love this movie so much. There's a reason why I love this movie, because I'm so attached to this franchise. I'm so attached to this character. And they finally got something right where this character was done completely perfectly. But my number 1 was not a comic book movie. So, yes, this is my number 2 so far this year. I loved it, but throwing it to Nick. And Nick's doing a wave. It's probably like 5 minutes late.
I have no idea. What that was about. My number 2.
Shake it up.
My number 2 of the year is, I guess, technically a comic book movie, but it was also an animated movie. It's a movie that I actually really, really enjoyed. Lego fucking Batman, guys. What a
Whoa, dude, this is out of nowhere. This is awesome. I'm so excited about the fact that this is on your list.
Such a fun movie, such a wonderful time. Will Arnett as the voice of Batman in this thing is just fantastic. And even though the film is not without its issues, it's a really, really fun time, and it really, for my money anyway, and for a lot of people's money, I will say, gives kind of one of the best explorations of the Batman Bruce Wayne character in any film. And I know Justin would probably definitely agree with that as well. Where
I would 100% agree.
Exactly.
I would 100%
and
agree.
that's why it's a kid's movie, and it's definitely, just an animated, really fun movie, but it also goes just a little bit deeper than your normal film, because it really gets into a good character study of Batman, and that's why I enjoyed it so much. I don't want to say too much more about it. I don't really have anything else to say, but
damn you! Every single time you get to a point in the show, it's literally you have to.
It's the
you need to put this in there.
It's the
why you're doing it on purpose. It's the new thing though. Nick has the bird, but he gets to his main point.
I swear to God,
it's a new thing.
I'm not doing it. It's the acid reflux. Let me get back into my thought here. But it's.
You can't get to any kind of thought because I just came up here from the Divines and you've been talking about me for the past couple of days.
Oh, I think he left already. Sorry.
What do you mean he left already? How did he leave already? What, did he pass out like immediately as soon as he got off the mic?
There's only 3 people on the live stream, so they don't know any better.
I'm pretty sure the 3 people on the live stream are me, you, and Kevin.
There you go. So they won't know any better. I can't help that he comes out when he comes out.
I just want to tell you, you don't know anything about nothing. Get down here and buy me a double cheese.
Good for you.
Nobody's buying.
I would hope it's good for me.
Oh my God! All right, so that's again my number 2, Lego Batman. Just a really, really great time at the cinema. So we're here. But it's time. Number 1s, Kevin. We're gonna jump over to you. Your
Kevin
number
Sampson, a
1
picture lock.
film of the year.
All right.
Pressure. Hashtag pressure.
So my number 1 film of the year thus far, unfortunately, it came out earlier in the year, almost to the point where I actually had to look up like what has come out so far, and I totally forgot. But even when it came out, I said this is an instant classic. It's Jordan Peele's Get Out. To me, this film was just amazing in terms of how it was done. There was no wasted space in it. The social commentary was there. And it's a film that, like, you watch it once and you're like, wow, that was amazing. You watch it twice and you're like, wow, I missed that part. Wow, you see so many things that you didn't see before. And so I totally... loved Get Out. It's as I said, running the DC Black Film Festival, and like if I were making like a course in terms of like African American films and whatnot, like there's the ones that like you automatically know like you're gonna see, like the Hollywood Shuffle and things, but I really feel like Get Out becomes one of those instant classics, not only in terms of just as African American cinema, but also as like an AFI, it has to go into the vault in terms of what Kevin, it captured. Yeah.
I had a question for you.
Uh-huh.
What's my number 1 film of the year?
Get Out.
Boom! He got it, and I knew it. You stole my thunder so much. And
I'm sorry, man.
No, dude, seriously. How you explained it literally brought like such a... And this movie was literally, I can't even explain it to you. Nick still has not seen this movie. He needs to see it because it is so fucking good. I could not believe it. Now, I told the story on our podcast, but Kevin, do you know the story of me seeing the movie at all?
No.
Okay, so the movie had yet to come out. It was a day and a half before the film was released. Nick can cut all this shit out in audio if he wants to. And Brian said, we are both excited about it. I got someone the projectionist to throw it on at Alamo Draft House so we can watch it together opening night, like how he used to put on the early screenings for Bowtie when I used to go there. Yeah. When I'd see stuff like 2-3 days early when, the hard drive would open up, I could watch it, whatever. I was so excited for it to get out because the trailers looked amazing, and the early reviews said it looked like Dario Argento, John Carpenter, whatever. So we're watching the movie. Okay, and about 15 minutes in, someone comes in and stares at us. And this is Brian's early days at Alamo. I was like, what's that? Someone's like over there looking at us. Like basically they just held the theater that wasn't being used for us to watch the film, and then a projectionist turned it on for us to watch alone, just me and Brian, because we were so excited to see it. And then after that person came in and stared at us, about 40 minutes later, we're in the movie. Like it's starting to get really good. You know, like there's suspension building. It's almost like Hitchcock, like literally grabbing you by the throat and wanting to stab you right where he needs to get you in the jugular. And then dude comes in the theater at Alamo Drafthouse and goes, "Get out, get the fuck out now." And didn't even realize that that's the movie we were watching, and made us leave. And it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday before the movie came out. Had to leave the theater, and then I had to buy tickets so my wife and I could see it on Thursday. And then Brian had to see it at a separate time, way later than me. I think I talked about the film on the show way before he even got a chance to see it, because we got kicked out of the theater because I was like, "Get the fuck out," and didn't even realize we were watching a movie called Get Out. But man, kick in the audio on the review right now. This movie is just so perfect, from the tension to the writing to the characters to the score to every single thing about this. It's so perfect. Nick, I know you'll love this movie. It's a thriller, but honestly, it's just, honestly, I feel like a very simple drama film. Kevin, I'm sure you would agree with me. And I could relate to every sense of what this film was trying to portray, down to the experience that our main character goes through, because I've been friends with a lot of African-American people in my day, a lot of younger people that, you know, they just get thrown into the mix and, you know, in social circumstances and situations where they don't know how to act, and they're just there, and we're all hanging out, and we see a character and an actual person portrayed here in a situation that is so dire but so normal for a person of color in this world, and it's so well portrayed. The dramatic essence in this movie is perfect. It's so good, Kevin. I'm so glad that you put it your number one, because I did too. It's so great. I love this movie so much.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. And sorry, Nick. The other thing that was so great about it is that, you know, the main character is kind of like our eyes in character, right? He puts us into that world. But then his buddy that's like outside of the world is just hilarious, because he's great. The audience. You know what I mean? Like, he is exactly who, like, the way that we're yelling at the screen, he's saying everything. And I mean, Jordan Peele, this guy is like so smart. And at first when I heard like he was directing it, you know, and I knew he did a lot of the writing for like Mad TV days and then with Key and Peele. But I was just blown away. This is one of those things when like, almost like the equivalent of like Mad Max Fury Road. I don't know if you guys like that, but I really enjoyed it because
hell yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's in my top 15 of all time.
And so you know how like it's Miller, right? How he'd been sitting on this film for so long, you could tell that he marinated, and then we get like this beautiful masterpiece. And in the same way, I feel like for Jordan Peele, it's like everything that he's done up to this point in his career came to this, and we just got this marinated stew that was just...
Dude, is it not... Kevin, is it not like the best movie of the past 5 years?
Yeah.
Seriously, though. I mean, think about it. From my perspective, and not to cut you off, I have to say this. As a horror fan, as a thriller fan, as a great drama fan, it had literally every single thing I wanted in it, and it had that great social commentary that was so fucking good that like it had me from the beginning to the end, and like it didn't let go of my balls until way later after I left the theater. I'm sitting on my couch that I'm pointing at right now in the live stream, and I'm sitting there like 4 hours later. I'm like, wow, that film really fucking had me by the balls. It's so good. I guarantee that by the end of the year, it'll be on Epic Film Guide Next Top 5 of the Year. Let's make a bet on it. I'm betting $5,000.
Hey, let's just I agree with you. Chance to see it by then,
Nick.
I'm certain that
the Blu-ray's in my hands. I'll send it to you.
Perfect. All right. Well, it's going to kind of end on a little bit of a whimper here, because this is a film that Kevin already mentioned. My number one of the year is Logan. And in terms of, I mentioned it last week, but I think that the comic book film in PG-13 format has hit its high water mark. I really don't think it's going to get better than it has. I think it's going to continue to trend downward from here. But in terms of R-rated comic book films, I think there's a huge gold mine yet to be tapped, and Logan taps into it perfectly. You get to see the amazing brutality of this character, but you also get to see the emotionality of this character's kind of final character arc, we'll say, in the film. And, you know, with, again, as Kevin said, for lack of a better term, his daughter, in the film, they develop an amazing relationship. It's brutal, it's bloody, it's action-packed, and it's so good. Literally every part of it from beginning to end, except for X-24. I wasn't the biggest fan of the whole X-24 thing, but even that notwithstanding, this film was just so good that, I could not put any other film here as my number one of the year. So we'll wrap this up here really quickly, and we're going to jump into another break. But Kevin, I'm going to jump over to you. If you have any honorable mentions you want to throw on here, lay them at us now.
Not really. I mean, Fate of the Furious was cool, but it's only because, like, I love that franchise, and so it's one of those things that I probably have blinders on. But, like, I had a good time at the movies with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's this when I was about to say Vander Cage, and that is definitely not a good movie. But when
Nick saw an early screening of that. Wow, the only early screening Nick's seen all year. I got
free tickets to see that, and there were 4 fucking people there. They were giving away tickets for free, and nobody went to see it.
Yeah, but I will say this: when Dom, like, when he comes back at the end, so this is what I really enjoy about that. When he comes back at the end, and then they play his music, like, and it's like doom 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 doom, and like you're like, yes, the hero is back. Like, that's the whole vibe that I love about, you know, the whole thing, the family vibe, but then also the way that they put this stuff together, and like when he comes back to the family and all that good stuff. Like, I just had those what's it called? The feels. Yeah. That was probably my honorable
the feels.
Mention. Yeah.
The Epic Film Guys feels, and that just leads me to my honorable mention. I know a lot of our fans and our listeners, Nick, including yourself, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned it, that Kong Skull Island was not in my top 5. But
I'm not surprised, because I know you've seen a lot more films than I have this year, which you were a lot warmer about than Kong Skull Island. I know you had your issues with Kong Skull Island, even though you did really enjoy it overall.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely plan on picking it up, but overall, I mean, Skull Island, as decent as it was not in my top 5 of the year, which only leads me to think, Nick, we've got a lot left in store for the rest of the year. We've all been kind of just talking about how is the year doing. We're going to be getting into that in a little bit in our next segment when we talk about how Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic affects the box office reaction and how general audiences go to the movies. But the point being is that, hey, there's a lot of good stuff this year, and I'm very more than happy with what I've seen this year. So again, I'm going to thank Kevin for coming on this week for the show.
Man, Kevin.
We should just make Kevin a permanent member of the Epic Film Guys podcast in some way. He's just so amazing. We're going to take a quick little break, then we're going to be back to talk about how critics' reactions.
I didn't get to put my honorable mentions in here. Don't I get to voice my honorable mentions, Justin? Come on, let me have it.
Nick, I thought you hadn't seen nothing else, though. Oh, you're gonna put Power Rangers in there, which is gonna make me want to beat you to a pulp. If you mention Power Rangers once, I swear to God,
you know what?
You're gonna get it.
It is gonna make Justin super fucking salty. But yes, my honorable mention is Power Rangers.
No, I fucking knew it. I'm so mad at you. I'm dead serious. I'm gonna smash this screen.
Oh, yeah. It had to be an honorable mention because it didn't do enough right to warrant a spot on the top 5. And this is one of the films that Loisos put in his worst of the year so far. I know Justin would definitely agree with him. Let me read off Loisos' picks really quick before we jump into our break here. Okay, he mentioned his top 5 of the year: Baby Driver, Get Out, there you guys go, Logan, Colossal, which I unfortunately haven't had a chance to see.
None of us have.
Yeah, and then John Wick Chapter 2 actually made his top 5 of the year. And he had for honorable mentions Ingrid Goes West, Raw, Justin, there you go, and Kong Skull Island. And he did list his worst, but we're not really doing a worst list right now. Just we just don't have time for that. But I mean, we could definitely probably all agree that Alien Covenant would probably be somewhere on that list. I would definitely put Live by Night on that list. Transformers: The Last Night would be on that list.
You and your Live by Night. I swear to God, I still have to buy that Ultra 4K HD fucking Blu-ray of that shit. I'll spend $45 on it just to watch it in the format possible, just so that way I can watch it. If it is legit the worst movie ever, then I'll give you props. But if I enjoy something about it, I'll give you hell to the end of the end of time on this podcast.
You'll give me hell regardless. It doesn't even matter. But yes, as Justin said there a moment ago, we are going to run into another break here. And this is going to be our last trivia break for the month of June. Soundtrack trivia. I'm not sure what we're going to do for trivia in the month of July. I think I will tie it to our Spielberg challenge, actually. That'll be
I'll figure it out.
Cool.
Don't worry about it. It'll be all John.
I'll hit you.
It'll all be John Williams themes. Listen to me, but ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking with us here, and we'll be right back. Yes, make it all John Williams though. It'll up the ante a little bit there. It'll up the ante.
All right, everybody stop.
I'll pick every clip. I have them all. Nick, I'm telling you, I will send you all the clips. Williams did way more for Spielberg than he did for anybody else. So
yeah, there's some fucking literally you could just do nothing but fucking Williams themes for Spielberg ones. But that'd be so easy though. Like fucking so many of the Williams themes for Spielberg movies are so
I know,
iconic.
but people are gonna love it though. So who cares? Yeah. I'm gonna throw something to you that's Jaws 2 that John Williams did that no one will know the difference, and we'll see if anyone pays attention to it.
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can suck start a leaf blower.
Start a leaf blower.
Got the most incredible body and a pair of titties make you want to stand up and beg for
buttermilk.
All right, so yeah, everybody take a quick piss break or whatever they got to do, and we'll come right back and we'll do the last segment.
Kevin, you all good, dude?
Yeah, I'm starting to die a little bit.
Don't worry, dude. We'll make this quick.
We got this. This is fun, man. Thanks again for having me, guys. This is always fun.
This is what you need to be doing, Kevin. Seriously, man. You're doing a great job doing this, though. Dude, you're so perfect at doing something professional, but still being on an edgy show. Come on, you should be doing more of this, though. Seriously, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Let's get that picture lock set up here in my living room.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about a slasher right now, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's nobody in the live stream, but the music that Nick is playing is very scary and full of murder and gore and death. I'm so scary, I don't think I can go to bed right now. This is the new version of Unsolved Mysteries, Epic Film Guys style. Yo, Kevin Sampson's on the show. Yo, spit a little beat. Yo, I know you used to spit rhymes down at the street. Come on, man. Come on, do something. I want to see something. Let me hear, dude. I listen. Yeah, let's do it. I did a whole rap album when I was in my late 20s.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It sounds like garbage, but I wrote a lot of rhymes though. Come on, dude. You used to be in the spit game. I posted. No. You said he used to freestyle. Come on, don't bullshit.
I was never good at freestyling, and I can't because one, the kids are over there because we're in an apartment, so I can't be too.
Dude, even the best rhymes are just whispered, though. No, I saw you post many times like about your old school days. writing raps in college, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Okay. So, dude, I did a whole album. When I got out of high school, and I got done with being in metal bands and stuff like that. Like I've always loved hip hop, old school hip hop, old rap. Me and couple of my buddies that were into like the alternative rap at the time did an album, and we got signed to a small label until I got in trouble and went away as a bad little juvenile. But I love the art of the word, so to speak, and I feel like it's kind of lost, man. I don't find anything new that I get into it. It sucks, dude. I really wish
totally agree. Like I don't really know what's going on with hip hop. What did you say?
Anything you have any recommendations on? Any good, modern rap or anything?
Not really. No? It's interesting because like a lot of people talk about Chance the Rapper. I just haven't given him a chance. Him. Yeah. I haven't given him a chance yet. I mean, Chance the Rapper, J. Cole, Drake, actually. Like these are the people that are actually like lyricists. But then like you have this new, like, I think they actually call it bubblegum rap. Like
that they're stuttering constantly and they don't sound like they're ryming at all. And they're just like, blah, blah, blah. Literally, I can't. And I'm luckily my wife and my kid, they're not like into it hardcore. Cause I'm like, that's not talent. And I tell them, like you have to at least rhyme or have rhythm, something because I know music,
yeah, no, I totally agree.
Where to go to show them, dude.
It's that it's funny because like when you watch like All Eyes on Me, like that was back in the late 90s or mid 90s. Because
I still need to see it. I feel like I still need to see it to do it justice, though.
Yeah, I mean,
why didn't it get a bigger budget though? I want you to tell me that because you know more about the shit than me. That should a Tupac biopic? Are you kidding me? That's way bigger than even the fucking NWA story. Why didn't that get a huge budget from Universal or some other company?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because let me see who actually. Because I forget.
I was looking earlier. They were like up and comers, but think about it logically. What other rap biopic would do better than a Tupac biopic if it was?
Oh yeah. So I remember like Code Black Films is the one that or Code Black Entertainment. They're the ones that put it together, and they're kind of like in terms of like black movies, they're kind of huge, but they're not like Universal Studios or whatever, like big budget, or even at A24. So.
Well, yeah, A24 is where it's all about. Yeah, though.
A24, seriously. Like every single year.
See,
like
you didn't get a chance to see It Comes at Night yet, though, did you?
I didn't. Somebody else reviewed it for me, but like I
can't
all right.
See it. Brian liked it more than I did, but
okay.
But I just assumed, though, man. Like I feel like they shouldn't even have rushed on that, though. Like they should have taken way more time on a Tupac biopic. Any other rapper in history. I mean, literally in history, he has the most iconic story out of any of.
On top of that, like it's not like they haven't had 20 years to get this thing right. Like,
why?
What's the issue?
Well, here's my thing, though. I just think of it this way, though. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for a Kurt Cobain biopic and whatever else,
right.
But Straight Outta Compton was in my top 5 films of last year. Remember you and I talking about it? I loved that movie so much. It was so great. But I'm like, if you're gonna do music, do it like that. Like, get in depth. Like, do your thing. And Nick's gone. He's gone.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
You ready, Nick?
Ready.
Oh,
let's do it.
What are you doing, Nick?
I was just. You guys were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Interrupt, damn it!
All right.
You saw Straight Outta Compton.
Hey, I still haven't seen Straight Outta Compton, unfortunately.
What?
Grr.
Believe me, I'm right there with you. I know.
I'm going to grab my water real quick then.
God damn it, Justin. All right, I won't start recording then yet. I just threw up a post on Facebook saying that we're live streaming.
I still want to get into the Hopesters dumpster. Did you guys let me in yet?
I just approved you, Kevin.
Okay, I was about to say. I'm like,
Also-
I answered your silly questions. Yes.
All right. Justin's back. So everybody start recording, and then Kevin, I'll start with you. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and drop me a quick sound check.
Mic check. We're live streaming episode 104 right now. Come listen to the fun.
Beautiful. And Justin.
Check. Sound check.
No, I'm sorry. It was not as good as.
Check. Sound check.
It just was not there, man. It just wasn't there.
I don't think it ever will be.
All right. Now, this will be just a little more free form than everything else, so fuck it. Caution to the wind. We'll do what we do. Justin, why don't you go ahead and lead us in?
All right, we'll be live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Nowhere near as strong as Epic Film Guy Nick's burp. Vote for that burp on the official page on the Hobster's Dumpster for the best belch of the episode.
You Pike, you're a piece of shit.
But even so, we're still here with Kevin Sampson, a picture lock here. He's been kind enough to stick around with top 5 films of 2017 and a Transformers The Last Stand. I mean, wait.
Check. Sound check.
The last night. There you go. The last night. But we're about to head out into the end of the show here on the Epic Film Guys podcast. But we're going to talk about a subject that's been pretty hot lately in the public eye and in the cinephile universe here. How Rotten Tomatoes, how Metacritic, how actual critics' response affect your viewing of seeing movies in the theater and general audiences. So we're going to throw around the room here and see how we feel about this concept. Because, hey, believe it or not, Nick, myself, and yes, Kevin Sampson, who is a professional film critic, or at least I like to think of him as one, we all talk about films for a living in some way, and we love talking about them. We love seeing great movies every year in and year out. So we're going to do this right now. Nick, so here's the thing. You seem to like to complain when a film is doing very well a job on Rotten Tomatoes, yet you hate it.
Well,
how does Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic take into your early reaction with seeing the movie?
The thing. And I don't give Metacritic the shit that I give to Rotten Tomatoes, okay? Because Rotten Tomatoes, as an aggregator, basically, if a film has whatever they consider to be a passing grade, ultimately, and I unfortunately don't know what that is. I'm pretty sure it's probably around like a 6.5 out of 10, something like that.
It is. That's right.
When a film gets that, it gets a stamp, fresh rating. Okay, so if you have a film that's got like an average score of like say Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman's a good example of this. Like Rotten Tomatoes, it's what, like 92%. Okay, but the actual critic average for that film is somewhere in the 7. It's like 7.1, 7.2.
It's above 7.5. It's above 7.5.
Well, even still, it's not what the Rotten Tomatoes score would suggest. So what I think about Rotten Tomatoes is, unfortunately, it's skewing perspective. Okay, it's skewing perspective and it's skewing expectations, because Batman vs. Superman is another great example of this, where it's got a Rotten Tomatoes score of what, like 28%? But the average score for this film is somewhere around like a 5.5, which, I mean, granted, isn't great. I know I have a much more positive feeling about the movie than most people do, but even still,
hey,
when people see that rating, when an audience sees it's 28% Rotten Tomatoes, or it's 95% Rotten Tomatoes, or whatever the case may be, that sets an expectation in their mind. That places an expectation on a film where it's like, okay, I'm going into this, and oh man, the Rotten Tomatoes score is 95%. Holy shit, this is going to be a masterpiece. And then when it doesn't live up to that expectation, they're let down. Similarly, when something gets a really, really low Rotten Tomatoes score, and when it's better than that, they have to try to defend their, even if they give a film like a 5 out of 10 that has a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, they end up kind of trying to defend it. I just think, especially in the terms of Rotten Tomatoes, I think that it's just negatively skewing perspective on films.
It is. Of course it is. It is.
Go ahead.
But
I want to let you jump in on this, and then we'll jump over to Kevin.
It is.
But
It is. But here's the thing, though, Nick. I'm going to throw it to Kevin first, because I feel like, Kevin, you may have more actually in common with the tomato meter than me and Nick do. Tell me if I'm wrong about this, but what is your initial opinion on the tomato meter in general? Certified fresh, certified rotten?
Well, first off, I kind of hate Rotten Tomatoes just for the fact that I've been trying to get it. No, listen, I've been trying to get it on for 2 years, and they still haven't. They still are saying
that was
about
that was a good question for you. That was a good question for you, because part of our research tonight to talk about Rotten Tomatoes was what you have to do to get onto Rotten Tomatoes. So you have a great entrance to a great story here.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the thing that's really weird. Like, so I've obviously, being like a member of the Washington D.C. Area Film Critics Association, North Carolina Film Critics Association, African American, all that stuff. I'm around people that are actually a part of Rotten Tomatoes, and so there's actually this book, and I plan on reading it soon. A.O. Scott, who I think he writes for the New Yorker, but he's a pretty well-known film critic. He wrote a book, it's Better Living Through Criticism, How to Think About Art, Pleasure, Beauty, and Truth. And basically, within the book, he is kind of talking about what is the role of the film critic, and how basically, and this is really interesting for me personally, because so I went to school, got an MFA in film and electronic media, studied film criticism, all that kind of stuff. So I have like the educational background, right? But like, I'm not sure about you guys, if you guys did go to school, but you can easily talk about it, right? You can talk about movies. Anyone can talk about movies because we all love them. And so like with film critics, a lot of the times what you find is we kind of come from that like educational background. What's the mise en scene within the film? And it's a lot of, in some ways it can be hoity-toity stuff. But what A.O. Scott, like kind of like the end of his argument is that what the film critic does is help to keep cinema an art form. And the best film critics can write in such a way that you're able to kind of pull the art out of a Logan, right? So many people might go and they'll see Logan and they'll be like, man, I loved it. It was so awesome. But a great film critic is going to be able to tell you why. The fact that the use of blood and violence actually was a means to an end to help us to, whether it's, engaging more with the character, or the fact that sometimes when we're in our primal instincts, because that's kind of like why we like Walking Dead, right? Because when you strip away everything else, all you have is like our base needs and who we are as human beings. So again, the film critic, and I know I'm going around the world, but the film critic really kind of talks about the art within the film. And so like something like Rotten Tomatoes, I totally get why as a marketing ploy, it makes sense when you're able to say, it's fresh, certified fresh. That means like the critics love it, and people can pull it. Oh man, I could break all of this down and it would be another episode. But marketing wise, it's very helpful. That being said, like you guys are saying, it is one of those things where like based on the critics' reviews, like whether they liked it or didn't, you don't get a true like metric for it. And so that's why sometimes you see films that like critics loved, but yet people hated it. But it's not necessarily, and I'm not exactly sure because obviously I'm not a Rotten Tomato critic yet, but I think that like it's like almost like a C, because I've seen like 2.5 out of 5 stars still makes the film fresh, which is really weird.
Yeah, it's all based on the algorithm, based on how many reviews they get, based on the number of those reviews and the actual percentage of high or low, ratings that the film gets. So it's based on an algorithm, and it's like kind of confusing, honestly, for a lot of people. But it is the easy way to look at something and go, how many people actually liked this or not? And I think it's the most American way, as people would want to put it, to like, oh, was it fresh or rotten? Okay, I won't go see there. I will go see that, and that's where the discussion comes in. Is literally. It's so black and white. Why should it be?
So this is the thing. I think at the end of the day, right? One, you have to see a movie for yourself. Who cares what I think? Because, what I think is based upon my life experiences, my education. Like Get Out might be amazing to me. Nick might hate it. Whatever, but like I loved it, and so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what I think; it matters what you think. So one, go see the film for yourself. Then you can actually argue about it. And then two, I think that in many ways, like with Rotten Tomatoes and with film critics, I do feel like the good critics, can help point you in a direction that maybe you wouldn't have gone in, because we see so many films on the festival circuit, publicists send us stuff, indie circuit. And so I think that at the end of the year, that's when we really get to shine, because we're able to say, listen, these are the jewels that you missed that might not have had like a wide release, or it was like, a small release, but these are the jewels you need to check out. And so I think for that part, that is kind of when the critic is like your friend, like definitely at the end of the year. Did that answer any of your question? I don't know. Maybe not.
I think it was a great. I think it was a great exploration of what a film critic does versus kind of the layperson, kind of somebody who just walks into a film and just watches it for what it is. I mean, we did a mini-sode review of Transformers the last night during this recording, and even though none of us, except for Justin, almost came out of that film with a positive experience, it's. The fact of the matter is that those kinds of films have their audience, and it comes down to what that person wants to see when they walk into a theater versus, what they care about the critics. And it's kind of like Kevin was saying, like, we're going to dissect it. We're going to look at it in terms of its artistic merit, at least from our perspective. We're going to kind of try to dissect it and try to look at it in terms of where we've come from in our lives and applying our background to it. And I'm a person like Kevin. I studied. I don't have a degree in it or anything, but I studied film in college. It was one of my minors in my program, and it really helped to kind of open me up more so to the artistic, to kind of just the artistic strokes that a film takes, like the way that this scene is staged, the way that this scene is shot, the way that this scene is lit, that a common moviegoer isn't really going to care. Some people just love to go to a movie and they just want to see fucking big CGI robots blow each other up for 2.5 hours, and they're thrilled. They absolutely love it. I know people like this personally. I have friends that are like that. They don't give a fuck about any of that kind of stuff. They just want to go and be entertained, and in that respect, they get what they're going for. But I mean, in terms of critics and taking it back to Rotten Tomatoes, I think the harmful thing about Rotten Tomatoes, taking a critical review, like somebody, say Kevin watches a film and he gives the film a 6.5 out of 10. Well, Kevin's review gets transposed into a fresh rating. Okay, and that fresh rating gets aggregated into other fresh ratings, and all of a sudden a film has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and all that 95% means is 95% quote-unquote fresh ratings. Now, Kevin might have had severe misgivings about a film, or myself, or Justin, or whomever. We might have had severe misgivings about a film, or even the films that are aggregated, or even the critics that are aggregated within the Rotten Tomatoes number, they've had severe misgivings about it. But that doesn't count. None of that stuff matters. It all gets stripped away. It all gets ripped away to portray this fresh versus rotten rating. And like I said, I think when you take a film, and Wonder Woman's a good example of it, where it's not that I didn't like Wonder Woman. I faced so much fucking flack over this movie where people think I hated it, and I didn't hate it. I overall recommended it, and I overall really enjoyed the movie. I just had some serious issues with it. But my rating of that film would have been taken and stripped away and just made a fresh rating. And it would have applied to that like 92, 93%, whatever it is, that Wonder Woman has on Rotten Tomatoes. And that skews an audience's perspective. There is an audience out there that cares what film critics think. And if you want to know, and you want to look at a thing, okay, oh, this film's 92% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, you're going to walk into that film thinking it's the best film ever. You're going to walk in with higher expectations, and expectations do play some role into your final perception of a film. If you're expecting a film to be amazingly great and it's not as great as you expected, it's going to affect your rating. The reverse is true. If you don't expect much out of a film and it exceeds those expectations, you're going to have a more favorable opinion of it. And I think that's wrong. I don't think that that's necessarily something that we should be striving for in terms of criticism, to boil our reviews down to, you know, it's kind of a simple thumbs up, thumbs down system. And that's really the simple thing of it. It's like, you know, overall I had this litany of issues with it, but I'm still going to give it a thumbs up. Or overall, I loved all this stuff about it, but I'm still going to give it a thumbs down. You know, that does not tell you the full story. That's why I'm much more appreciative of systems like, say, Metacritic, which just aggregates scores together and gives you an average score of a film. You know, and this is a good example. Justin posted this over to the Facebook page over, I don't know, a couple days ago with War for the Planet of the Apes, where right now it's about like 93, 94% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. But the Metacritic score is hovering right around 80. Which one of those gives you a more realistic expectation going into that film? You know, if I mean, for me, it's my number one most anticipated film of the year. I'm already super hyped for it. So if I'm somebody who's looking forward to it and I see, 95%, or if I see 80%, which one of those scores is going to skew my perspective more when I sit down in that theater? And that, to me, I believe is wrong. And Justin from Sorry to Mirror to Movie Geek, happy birthday, by the way, Justin. We love you. You're awesome. But he actually made a great point over in the live stream chat that the problem is that most people don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works. And that's absolutely true. And that's what Hollywood banks on. That's what Rotten Tomatoes, frankly, banks on, because they know that a lot of people don't get it. They know that a lot of people don't understand it. All they see is that 95% fresh rating, and they think that this film is a 9.5 out of 10, or a 95% out of 100, and that it's the masterpiece of masterpieces, and that it should be worshipped. And then when you go into a film like that, and then people use these numbers to defend films, and that's a whole other frustration that I have. But I've talked enough. I'm going to jump back over to Kevin. Just additional thoughts on this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we need taste makers, right? I mean, it's the same way that maybe you have a food critic that goes into a restaurant and they can, you know, kind of make it where, hey, the restaurant is hot or it's not. And I think that film critics definitely are necessary. I just think that at the end of the day, yeah, kind of this grading system, like you said, Rotten Tomatoes versus Metacritic, I think Metacritic is definitely a more fair way of doing things. So that's pretty much all I got. I think you hit it. So.
All right, and
boom, shake it up, shake it up. Boom, ooh, shake it up, shake it up.
It's weird not being able to see him here.
I'm naked right now. I'm just like relaxing. I'm going to go take a bath in a few minutes. I'm going to take a bath, a bubble bath. The hopes might show up. The list might show up. I don't even know who's coming. Director Brennick is on his way. He said he'd drive here just to get in the giant bubble bath as well. So, I mean, I don't even know. In general, great episode. Great talks. But no, honestly, here's the thing. I like seeing a great number for a movie I'm interested in seeing, and I hate seeing a bad one. But overall, it never truly deeply affects my personal rating of a film after I watch it because, hey, guess what? I'm not the general public, and I'm not any of those major critics that get paid to do their job for those reviews that are on Rotten Tomatoes or even Metacritic for that instance. But, you know, the point is I cannot review and rate a movie until I sit down from start to finish, sitting down in that theater, preparing myself for that movie, and then watching it start to the end and giving my own opinion on the Epic Film Guys podcast. So, you know, I love seeing a movie I'm interested in and excited for it. Yes, War for the Planet of the Apes and Spider-Man Homecoming. And, you know, the bigger blockbusters hitting this summer. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah. I'm like, don't go there. Please don't.
Just because I'll guarantee you this much. After watching the interviews with Michael Keaton today and all the late night shows he's done recently, there, Fallon, you name it, he never watches this movie he's doing. With that, they're Marvel Studios. He is not going to pay attention to it. He'll never watch it. The paycheck, baby. But hey, I'll leave it at that. Epic Film Guy Justin, I'm out of this bitch.
All right. Well, everybody keep recording here, and we'll roll into the end segment here, just before we're done here. But let me close out the last segment here really quick. All right, we're gonna go ahead. All right, we are gonna go ahead here. All right. Well, I mean, I think we've pretty much said everything that needs to be said. What do you think? Let us know over in the Hopesters Dumpster. Again, join that Facebook group. Let us know what you think about the rating systems of films. Do you agree with Rotten Tomatoes? Do you agree with Metacritic? Do you agree that, you know, Rotten Tomatoes and Justin from Sorry Married Movie Geek actually put it pretty perfectly over in the live stream chat? Rotten Tomatoes is just low-hanging fruit, pretty much. And people put too much stock in it. But we're going to go ahead and run into a quick break. We're going to go ahead and run into a quick break for our featured actor for the month of June. The last clip we're going to get from Mr. Tom Hanks. And we're going to have a whole new featured actor clip for the month of July. Can't wait to do that. We'll probably try to tie it into the Spielberg Challenge somehow. We'll figure that out. But
it'll all be Quint from Jaws.
Jesus Christ. All right.
It's not like going down to the pond and catching bluegills and tommy cats. That shark will swallow you whole.
All right. And we will be right back.
Back.
All right. So keep recording. Nobody stop recording.
God damn it. I'm done.
Did you
I'm
stop?
going to bed. No, I did not.
Okay, keep recording. I'm just going to roll out the show really quickly when we count back in. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And that, of course, was our featured actor, Mr. Tom Hanks, for the month of June. And like I said before, we are going to have another featured actor coming up for the month of July. So stay tuned for that. But gentlemen, that's it. We're done. It's over. The show has ended.
Over. It's not over till I say it's over, though. I mean, is it really though? Well,
you said it was over like halfway through the last segment or whatever, but I want to take the opportunity first and foremost to thank Kevin Sampson from Picture Lock for being on the show again. It's been too long. It has been far too long since we had you on the show last. Again, it was Suicide Squad. That was almost a year ago. It cannot go this long. We love you. You're amazing. Please, please, please tell our audience where they can find you and where they can find Picture Lock.
Well, first off, man, guys, I appreciate you having me on, and it's an honor to actually be on the 2-year mark episode, so thank you. You can find me at picturelockshow.com. I got movie reviews, news, interviews, and if you live in the DMV area, many times I'm giving away passes to see different screenings early. So you definitely want to check that out. Plus, we got the radio show if you do live in the DMV, or you can listen to the podcast. But it's every Friday at 3 p.m. on WERA 96.7 FM. Thanks, guys.
All right. And, of course, you can find us on all of your podcatchers of choice, on all of your social media platforms, and on our website. Everything is at Epic Film Guys. Just search for us. I promise you, you will find us. All right. And let me just take a moment here to thank our absolutely amazing sponsors. Justin from So I Married a Movie Geek. Happy birthday, my friend. I love you, even though I hate you sometimes, but I absolutely love you, Mr. Shocktop himself. Thank you very, very, very much. Emily.
Shocktop and Fudge.
Ooh, baby. Emily from The Story Behind. Thank you very, very, very much. Flash himself, Mr. Scott LeVar. Thank you very much. Caleb and Dan from the Netflix and Swill podcast. Our resident kaiju expert, Mr. Robert Moreno, and Destruction in Human Form,
Jared Taylor.
Ooh, yeah. Baby. We absolutely love each and every one of you guys for continuing to sponsor the show and paying us for what we absolutely love to do, and paying for the Epic Film Guys podcast. Now, before I roll out on the show here, I do just want to mention a few guest opportunities that are going to be coming. Before we roll out here on the show, I just want to mention a few guest opportunities that rolled up in the recent weeks here. I am going to be on the Super Movie Brothers anniversary show. They are about to celebrate 1 year of podcasting, and I was thrilled to join Dave and Jay, as well as Jay from the Super Movie Brothers podcast, as well as John from the Now in Technicolor podcast, and we played basically a drinking game of Never Have I Ever for movies. So if you didn't like the movie, you tell everybody else, and then if they did like the movie, they have to drink and then tell you why. That was a really, really fun time. You can also catch an interview from me over on the Smorgasbord podcast. I had a great, great time talking to Pete from that show. And I'm also going to be on an upcoming episode of Rabbit Ears, talking about one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Lost, with Justin from So I Married a Movie Geek as well. All right. And it's just, we've got so much more fun content coming. We've got so much more fun content coming in the coming weeks. Please check over in the Hopesters Dumpster for an upcoming episode schedule, just of the different things we're going to have coming. We've got a Movie Pod Squad Nolan Megasode coming. We're going to get a whole bunch of Movie Pod Squad Network podcasts on the show to talk about their best Nolan movies and to review Dunkirk. Paul from the Countdown is going to be here for an Apes retrospective and to talk about War for the Planet of the Apes when that comes out. And Loy Sauce himself is going to join us for our Baby Driver review next week. Here he is.
Loy Sauce.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So we got tons more fun stuff coming up for you. 2 years in podcasting, Justin. Thank you. Thank you, Justin, for just an amazing, amazing 2 years. And we're going to have a lot more amazing shows. We're going to have a lot more amazing years ahead of us as the Epic Film Guys. So thank you very, very much to Kevin. Thank you very, very, very much to everybody who's listening, to everybody who tuned into the live stream. Thank you all very, very much. We absolutely love you. And Justin, bring us home, baby. Or not. Wait a minute. Where's my crickets there? Justin, did you die? Justin, are you dead?
I think he left for real.
He's still showing up on Skype, though.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very, very much, everybody. And we will see you at the movies. All right, and I am going to roll our outro. Kevin, you can stop recording.
All right.
I really think Justin passed out at his desk and died. And whatever you want to do, Dropbox or whatever, just send me these files is fine.
All right. Thanks again for having me back on, man. This is fun.
It's always a fucking pleasure to have you on. I'm so glad we got you back on. We can't go 10 fucking months next time. You name the movie. You name the movie that you're excited for. We'll get you back on for it sometime in the near future, whether it's something this summer or something this fall.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna send this over to you right now, and then I'm going to bed. Thanks again, man, and I will be in touch.
All right, peace, Kevin. Thank you very much, man.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Bye.
All right, well, and that is it for this episode of the Epic Film Guys podcast. Everybody in the live stream, if you're still watching, or if you're watching this after the fact, you guys are amazing, and I'm going to go ahead and play our outro, so hang on. Smoochy Boochies from So I Married a Movie Geek, Justin. We love you. You're amazing. Director Brennick, if you're still listening, you're amazing. Play some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds with me before I go to sleep. Movie Pod Squad Network, baby.
The Epic Film Guys are a proud member of the Movie Pod Squad Network. Check out more amazing shows like More Gooder Than and the Buds, Beers, and Brutality Horror Podcast at moviepodsquad.com.
I'm going to have to change that rollout within the next couple of weeks, but that'll be all right. All right, everybody who watched the live stream, thank you very, very much. We're going to go ahead and stop now. You guys are fucking awesome. Peace.